filled with the power of being Scott. How are you, Eddie? Move microphone closer. Oh, good. Where was I? Is the real question. I gotta find a heraldic bird. Gotta find morale. Gotta find my bird. Alright, let's go open that door for Everett.
There. Working class drunk. You know what this means, right?
Case solved!
Cracked it. All in a good day's work.
Wait, what exactly did I crack?
What do you mean, what did I crack? Look at how working class that drunk is.
It's some third option? It's her husband, the missing husband.
Yes, and you found him. Now go and tell the working class woman. Protect and serve, recruit. Didn't she repeatedly tell you her husband isn't missing though? But he is missing. You heard her. The worry in her voice.
Give me champagne, I'm going in!
There's no need for champagne when there's honor, recruit. Go and tell the working class woman what you found, right now.
Alright. Ma'am, I found your husband. Protect and serve, madame. I found your husband.
God damn it, I already told you. My husband isn't missing.
But you said you didn't know where he was.
And I specifically added that I didn't need to know where he was.
Well, I found him nevertheless. I'm that good.
Very well then. Where is he?
Our hammer-toting comrade was at the bottom of those stairs.
Excuse me? I don't follow.
Continue.
There's something else hiding in her voice, though. A trace of worry.
I found a working-class drunk, and I thought he might be yours.
Right, 'cause working class women come with alcoholic husbands. You know what?
Remember, about that what, never ever say what.
I'm not saying what.
You were right. I do have an alcoholic husband. Although not that one.
Ha, lamb. Knew it.
So he is missing as well.
No, he's not. Or maybe he is, I don't know. He's probably in the park or in Shamrock somewhere. Drinking with his friends.
I gotta say, reaction speed, like that's the first time we heard you talk.
I haven't seen him for... Well, to hell with him.
She completely forgot about her books, staring blankly in the distance instead.
There. She's worried now.
Kim, is it just me, or do we have a missing persons case here?
I wouldn't be so sure. Man, just to be completely clear, do you want to report it to the police?
Report what? He's just out drinking with his friends. I'm sure the police has better things to do than to chase down local goofballs.
The RCM is ready to chase down every goofball in town. We care about you.
She sighs, but you can detect a slight hint of gratitude and relief from her face.
Harry is a good man. Mr. Dubois.
All right, go ahead. Do you have any questions?
What does your husband look like?
Honestly, not that different from you.
Late stage alcoholic then.
That's one way to put it, yes. No offense. I'd also add he's a little bit chubby.
I see. What else?
What else? He was wearing a dark brown leather jacket with a bright blue inner lining. The lining is hand-sewn. I made it myself. It's his cool jacket. God knows it's too cold to run around in this, but he refuses to change.
Who cares about the cold when you have your cool jacket to wear? You can completely sympathize.
I even tried throwing it away once, but he just dug it out of the bin. Can you believe it?
Lamau. He's really cool, then I can totally understand.
Well, what can you do? I hope that at least that extra lining helps him keep warm at night. I wouldn't like him to catch cold.
God, this hits me in the chest.
She's thinking about him out in the cold, in some park, or on the coast. And it's making her more and more worried.
When'd you last see him?
Yesterday morning, he went to the library. He went to retrieve my book, and he promised he'd walk straight back home.
It's because he loved the thing that you made.
Because we talked about this. We talked about not wandering off again. I don't know what to do. I honestly don't know what to do with his addiction. Just makes me feel weak.
Oh.
Gone for around 36 hours then. Damn, this is a missing persons case. She turns away from you in an attempt to recover.
I think I got it, thanks.
So you are going to look for him?
She genuinely wants you to now. Don't make her ask.
Yes, I will bring him back home to you.
Thank you. Please do. Even though I'm sure he will return home by himself. I'm still sure of that.
She tries to maintain a brave front, even though her eyes reveal the opposite.
I'm sure he will too. When he does, would you let Precinct 57, Kim Kitsuragi, know?
I will. Of course, officer. As I said, it's probably nothing.
She takes the slip of paper, it's a phone number.
Whoa. What have we here?
Me bones. A bridge?
A bridge with loose nails and rot-infested wood that creaks in the wind. A construction code violation if there ever was one.
Kim, looks like we got a construction code violation.
True. They never cleaned up the wall damage. The rest of Revachol looks better, though.
But Lieutenant, think of the splinters.
The bridge is fine enough. Locals use it all the time, after all. It's nothing to worry about. Shall we?
Falls into the sea. Up!
This is a wall on the side of an apartment building.
Why am I looking at this wall?
You have no clue. It's just a wall. So many walls all over Martinaise. Weather-worn, cracked, their paint peeling. Just an ordinary wall. Nothing.
I won't save state things.
Are you trying to sneak up on me? Come to slit my throat in my sleep?
She's...
Apparently, she doesn't like people standing behind her back. Logic error. She is not sleeping right now.
Pig's come to take me out. Trying to snuff me out.
Are you sleeping right now?
Don't get fucking clever with me, pig. You think you're so clever.
Works every time. Oh, I can put this on my neck. From a red rock. Amazing. The heroic deeds of others. Of others.
This must be it. The basement door is weather-worn. The copper nails holding the upholstery in place have turned green from sea air, and there's a knocker shaped like a lion's head.
Is it beating up Measurehead?
You try to be as silent as you can.
Oh yeah,
It
the
takes a
dance
bit
scene
of
for
rattling
sure.
of the handle to loosen the bolt. Finally, the door unlocks with a small clack. Thoughts race through your head. The sound of the key turning still echoes in the yard. Hopefully no one heard. Well, buddy, you opened it. No need to go inside. It would be rude.
Rude.
There's nothing else to do than to leave and tell Everard. No conceivable reason for you to intrude on the premises. Only curiosity could account for stepping over that threshold. Maybe there's treasure in there. A white alligator. A fountain of quicksilver. There might be important information in the apartment. I mean, there might.
I love this little conversation my brain's having.
As you hold the open door, you can feel the air moving. A little draft. A whistle. Master Investigator, you just can't keep yourself away from locked and hidden places, can you?
It's my duty as a cop to investigate every square inch of this world.
Attaboy, the world's secrets were made for you. They wait patiently for you to uncover them.
The Jam Rock Shuffle. Oh, I see. Okay, so I need a skill point to forget another one. By now it's clear you like to look inside of containers. We'll learn that one soon. We may forget the Marzovian socioeconomics to make way for yeah, because like, hey, you get more XP, but it's like your visual calculus and your authority goes way the fuck down. I take the pills. Suitcase full of clothes. Guess staying over? A book titled The Hidden World of Walking Sticks lies open. The Cryptid Man. Feel the warmth of the red sun on the flag.
This is the flag of Revachol, the suzerainty.
It's the flag.
This
sun.
isn't just one sun, but there are little suns dancing around the big sun. This is the sevenfold sun miracle.
What's the sevenfold sun miracle?
It's an optical atmospheric anomaly the first settlers saw. Happens in cold weather. 6 small suns around the big one. This complex halo phenomena is how old Revachol got its flag. It is but one of the many strange optic atmospheric phenomena of this wondrous archipelago. You're sure you once saw sundogs in your youth, and blue flares.
Lieutenant, the old flag of the suzerain.
Mm-hmm. The tenant is an old-fashioned guy.
By old-fashioned, he means very right-wing.
Don't bow to
The flag doesn't seem to mind. It's just a colorful fabric with a sun sewn onto it. Like all feudal flags, it looks like a children's drawing.
Takes the shirt. Dragged. Get fucked. Whoever lives here admires fair-haired fancy heroes with big muscles.
A row of mugs sits on the shelf. Each one depicts a human figure. A dark-skinned woman grinning amidst mysterious symbols. A broad-shouldered man shoveling potatoes, and others.
It's racist.
A little ring. Though cheerful, the images on the ceramic make you vaguely uncomfortable.
He is not racist.
There's something disdainful in the way the curves and lines of the bodies were drawn. The images betray a lack of interest in human beings. They are merely unflattering caricatures.
It's really good empathy. What do I mean uncomfortable?
The owner of these mugs doesn't like people of other ethnicities very much.
Smash. Typical asshole.
This person is unhappy. The lieutenant picks up one of the mugs, then puts it back down with a look of disdain.
I'm beginning to feel better about breaking into this man's apartment.
About your yellow man mug and compare.
Yes, your broken mug friend would feel very much at home here. The same humor, the same mocking lines.
This is the man.
There's the missing tin soldier. Whoever lives here might have used the Whirling's container to dump his trash. And now they've drawn the ire of the Union. The plot thickens, as they say.
Yes, Kim, I would say that.
An interesting little clue. Let's see where this goes. Clues have a way of magically connecting to other clues down the road. Perhaps you should break into apartments more often.
Do you really think it's the same person who put the dead man's clothes in the trash?
Who knows? I'm not expecting too much from this clothes in the trash lead either way. It might turn out to be some random local matter, but still, a nice coincidence.
You could ask Everard who this person is once you're done here.
Move on from the Mogs. Smell of disinfectant in the room. Smells like chemicals. So he cleaned the armor. And then he put it on. That's why it smelled like chemicals in there. It's very, very interesting stuff.
The spread pattern of these bullet holes makes your chest ache. Your breath grows heavier. More old bullet holes. Half a century at least. From the Revolution.
So these bullet holes, I've seen a lot of them around.
Remnants from the Revolution. These are over half a century old.
Is there something we should do about these?
No, we are not constructors and renovators. And these bullet holes do not warrant an investigation.
What can you tell me about the Revolution?
Not much. I don't have a fresh perspective on it. Should we go?
Fuck, Kim. God. Chairs and tables eaten by rain and rot. I wonder. Garden hose won't be of use until the snow melts. I wonder and I think and I consider and I muse. Man, how weird would it be if we had a revolution? And how would we as a culture develop from that? And I'm not talking like the romanticized like British Revolution, which is like unequivocally like a good thing because of all the freedoms that came about it. But I mean like a serious political shift. Alright, it's time for Measurehead. Time to deal with the fascist. The fascist racist. With his bitches.
Nobody betrays your degeneracy.
Yeah, Measurehead. His body totally betrays
God!
degeneracy.
She's right in front of him!
Don't say anything. Size him up first.
Say nothing, size him up first.
Are you admiring my morphophysiology? It must be frightening to stand in the shadow of this racial pinnacle. Be calm, I'm Sandwich. You are not in danger because you are not a threat to me.
Still say nothing.
What is this androgynous display of sexual maturity?
Looks down at you, taking stock of your physique.
Merely standing up makes you sweat
Oh.
profusely.
Oof.
Breathing is erratic. Your own heartbeat in your ears grows frantic.
Oh.
And you feel...
Hold up. The reason why I failed that check was because I had a little health missing. We're gonna pop a little Nosafed. There we go. We'll make it now.
Yeah.
Don't say anything.
Oh, it must be frightening. What is this?
You hear your heart pumping, fast and irregular.
That'd be
Your
funny.
joints ache and you feel old, but still alive, somehow.
Stop it. You are embarrassing yourself in front of this woman and your pedomorphic friend. This display of weakness may appeal to older women with a stronger maternal instinct, but it is a liability here on Battlefield Martinez.
Jean-Luc, his body is betraying his degeneracy pretty hard. Maybe you can ask him to leave.
What do you mean my body betrays my degeneracy?
You have succumbed to Al Ghul.
Al Ghul!
You reek of it. An invisible sword of Al Ghul emerges from your throat. You cannot see it, but others can. It is making the woman in my company sick.
Kim, is it so bad?
It's not good.
Al Ghul?
Yes, Al Ghul.
Al Ghul!
He means alcohol.
Understood.
I doubt it. My microcephalic race, so.
You're right. I'm an alcoholic. I don't have a problem with Al Ghul. I just drink a little on the weekends.
Your mouth moves, but the one who speaks is Al Ghul. You are but a vessel for the Ghul now. Very little of yourself remains. Occidental Haplogroup B4 is done giving orders around here. The influence of the ham sandwich race is waning.
Show him the ham still got it. Does this remind you of someone? The guy down there?
Hey, that fat racist over there. You're just like him after pumping some iron.
Look at my craniology.
God!
I am the pinnacle of my haplogroup. The pink blob is a bad example, even of yours. It saddens me. You were once a noble and powerful race. You gave the world eugenics, electricity, and powerful weapons of war like missiles and aerostatic aircraft. You made great gains in metallurgy, race theory, and statecraft. You dominated lesser cultures, like the deformed Hemians and the inexplicably potato-obsessed Quakers. But now your ascent to the genetic summit has halted. You are obsessed with sadness and with frivolous pop culture. You will be superseded. Isn't that right, babe?
It is, baby, yeah. You know it.
The situation is serious. Your people have probably killed a man.
Enough with this begging. You should leave the stage of history with dignity by inviting the other races to a great world war. Bring your troops to the Simonine Islands and to Boogie Street, and we will pulverize you. When you are gone, we will build a museum for you. The walls will be lined with bottles of Al Ghul, your beloved beverage. Inside, we will store the odes to homosexuality you call art, and your microcephalic skulls.
You could internalize Measurehead's race theory. It would enrich you rhetorically.
Wouldn't that mean I would become a Seminese supremacist myself?
Well, yes. Why? Don't you want to be a Seminese supremacist? So what if you're not Seminese? You can be anything.
Isn't Everett the Union boss white?
Don't be vulgar. White or not has got little to do with this. The race enigma runs much deeper than that.
He turns his eyes towards the harbor, seemingly bored with you.
There must be some friction there. He's keeping it well hidden, however.
Yeah, but you still serve him. How does that factor into your life?
Mr. Clare is a man of vision and means. He has the will to confront international capital. Something your race, naivistic communists, never did. Also, to serve is noble. It takes discipline. Your petulant individualism has only contributed to your race failure. It is lax and moronic.
Communism is pretty cool.
Idiotic communism is the single greatest contributor to your race descent. Everywhere around you. the fruits of its failure to challenge the world order. Individualism, rock and roll music, sexually transmitted diseases.
You know, it's clear that Measurehead is a very well-spoken and well-written man. However, he has the brain rot.
Above all, rampant multinational finance still reigning large. Tell me, where have you gotten your love of pathetic communism from? Degenerate youth culture? Rock and roll music?
I've got it from disco.
Offshoots of the Seminoles people invented disco while having sex under the influence of cocaine.
Cocaine!
It is a shame upon my race. But
Ooh.
what is done is done. I am not surprised you enjoy it so much. This has happened to many of the side products of the inevitable cultural victory of the Seminoles race.
I'm done with this.
Measurehead stoically looks to the distance, in silence.
Kim, what do you think about this?
I think this racist is better than the last. But the next racist will be the really good one.
That will be the...
That'll be our lucky
He
racist.
will grant us 3 wishes.
3 wishes, everybody!
Your pedomorphic friend has quick wits, a protruding occiput, and an indented zygomatic bone.
The lieutenant does not flinch.
You should keep him close. The congenital defect of farsightedness does not render him a complete invalid.
Where are those tattoos?
Still has the use of his mind.
Where are those tattoos of yours supposed to mean?
Racists are generally not very good examples of their race.
Yeah, Measurehead.
Welcome to Revachol. You hear him yell at a redhead woman visiting the fritter nearby.
Jesus Christ.
He must think redheads are immigrants.
What an idiot.
I am not like them. I am craniometric perfection. I have taken the trouble to permanently draw a phrenologic grid on my skull and features. This should dispel any doubt.
Measurehead! I don't think anyone knows what the fuck that's supposed to mean.
The drawings are precise and look true to their pseudo-scientific ambitions. One thing, however, it is not entirely free of throwbacks in the phylogenetic tree. His large jaw, for example, could be a trait indicative of criminalism. Also, his earlobes could be small.
Are you sure? I mean, the jaw is visually atavistic stigmata.
That atavistic stigmata makes pussy say yes, plenty.
Dear fucking lord, woman.
Babe, thanks. But I got this.
I got this.
You have him off guard now. He's preoccupied with his situation with his woman.
Goodbye. Measurehead! I want the stuff! Sometimes you can't get everything. But you can get really good dialogue about lucky racists granting us 3 wishes. Fuck. 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 He'll grant us 3 wishes. Oh, I still haven't completely recovered. Lord. Thank you. Lucky for us, unlucky for him. Thank you for the pets. I appreciate it.
Mr. Dubois, a pleasure as always. You don't have to sit down this time, since you've already sat on that chair.
Thanks. I've opened the door.
I'm very glad to hear that, Harry.
Jesus Christ.
One question. You didn't actually happen to stumble in and see what's inside the apartment, did you?
He's trying to figure out if you're lying. There is no way to sway this man in any direction. He is unsuggestible and unswayable. Just tell the truth.
Just tell the truth, forehead. Handshake from anger. How shit it all is. Kills me every fucking time. Lord. There we go. I may have gone inside and seen a collection of racist mugs.
Just as I thought. Culturally antiquated mug collection. What a weasel. Pissing on Everart's Rainbow Coalition.
That's right, the whole rainbow.
He was testing you, and you succeeded.
Now let's get down to brass tacks. It's time for men like me and you to figure out who's killed who and why. Real police work is gonna start happening now. I promise you, Harry, this is gonna be good.
Collection I mentioned, I found a similar mug in the trash of the hangman's clothes.
Racist mugs in the trash and in the apartment? You guys are just light years ahead of me. I have so much confidence in the ability of your organization. I'm relieved you're doing this and leaving me to do what I do best. Helping people. With the power of politics.
Yes, yes. Do you think this weasel is somehow connected to the murder?
Oh, no, 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 no. I don't cross paths like that. All I want is for you to succeed in your investigation. I would never complicate things for you.
Oddly, it seems to be true.
So, it's very clear after having played this game before. Everart, despite being a bit of a scumbag, is acting the way he does to push us towards a conflict with Martinez as a whole, with this sort of area, to reinforce the Union and to give them the firepower and the money they need to essentially hold a little rebellion.
Believe me, Harry, he's a nobody. Still basement variety nobody. Can't imagine him being connected to a high-caliber case like this. But he does live nearby. Maybe it's a pedantic weasel. Fascists are known to be neat freaks. I feel like a real detective right now, Harry. Am I getting this right?
Great technique. You'd make a great sergeant. Not a nice man, a mean man, but an evil man.
Would he? I'm not so sure about it.
Oh, you're too kind, Harry. Way too kind. I know I'm not a real police officer. You are.
That's all he's going to say on this subject.
So the lynching and the strike are related.
By now, I'm sure you've figured out who the dead man was working for. The bad guys. Wild Pines. Sent to scare us. Another violent measure of the top hats against us flatcaps.
God.
Harry, this strike is the culmination of many, many mistakes made by the Wild Pines group. They tried to shut the strike down by sending in armed mercenaries.
Yeah, that's kind of bad.
You mean our victim?
A security contractor? Can you imagine that? Workers standing in peaceful protest, united in the spirit of fellowship, and they send hired killers to mow us down with machine gun fire?
Victim was a Pinkerton. Yeah, they gotta get him out.
He performs a motion as if spraying bullets from a machine gun.
Get down!
I'm talking beasts. Hardened killers from proxy wars in Yisut, Semenine, Saramaritsa. You name it, they've done it. Raping, killing, burning villages, killing little children for the Senorita Pineapple Company, Harry. Everything they did there, they brought over here. They want to turn Revachol into a third world slum. Honestly, the only thing they didn't do is kill the village elephant.
Hold on, you have a village elephant?
No, Harry, the elephant is metaphorical and so is the village, but the mercs and their brutality are very real.
Go on.
Now, I haven't personally witnessed the brutalities out there. I have the luxury of staying in my container, you see. If I need to go somewhere, they just move my container.
Go on.
About my fun container? It's a hoot, Harry. Who knows? Maybe you'll be in here the next time they move it. It will be very fun, I promise. But enough about me and my container. The killers the company hired, I think there were 3 of them.
Four of
all
them.
hardened commando types. One of them got downright suicidal. Getting drunk, violent, a little rapey.
A little rapey.
Even their own negotiator couldn't control him. That's your boy. The one who likes hanging out and trees.
By negotiator, you mean Joyce?
Just a little.
Harry, what you need to realize is, we dock workers are not pushovers. We got grit, Harry. This whole neighborhood does. Push us hard enough and we push back. And when we do, we push to kill.
The whole neighborhood is in on it?
Potentially, Harry, potentially. We got arm wrestling champions, rowing club people, ex-coal miners, tough guys, all ready to spring into action for their home base.
Who's do the pushing?
There's a militant wing inside the Union. A group of people whose duties don't involve manual labor, but peacekeeping in the neighborhood, making sure everything runs smoothly.
That sounds a bit like organized crime.
Yeah, a little like a mob.
They're like you guys. Idealistic people who want to make sure bad things don't happen. And if they already have, well, punishment must follow.
Again, that sounds like organized crime.
So these idealists killed our victim?
Ideals.
One day Titus Hardy, leader of this peacekeeping faction, comes up to me and says, "Boss, socialist democratic fervor drove us to take it upon ourselves to kill this beast that was burdening the land." He probably worded it differently, but that was the idea. Sure sounded to me like they killed him. I gave them 2 weeks paid leave and told them to lay low to avoid retaliation.
Aren't you worried we might arrest them for this?
Oh, I'm not at all worried about that. These are not the kind of men who get arrested. They're Martinez boys, tough and gritty. I'd like to see the man who takes them in. Besides, I sent my lawyer girl to look after them.
Of course you did.
Despite his boastful tone, he's having doubts about something. But
Ooh,
what?
baby.
Maybe he doesn't believe the boys really had it in them. They're his boys, after all.
I think you're sharing the information to please because you don't think they actually did it.
That's very clever, Harry. Yes, they might have said it just to impress some girls or something.
Ooh,
But
the
Titus
truth
a
is
bad
out!
guy, so the chances are 50-50.
He thinks it's closer to 60-40. 60, they didn't do it.
There was a bullet in the hangman's head.
So they shot him.
Sounds pleasantly surprised.
He was shot in the head before he was hanged.
How odd. I don't know what to say, Lieutenant. They told me they hanged him. A hanged man is what I saw when I took a look into that yard.
It's impossible to say if he's telling the truth, sire.
That's interesting. Thanks, Drama.
What I do know is, the case is in safe hands. If anyone can get to the bottom of this shot and hanged man, it's my 2 little policemen. Godspeed, policemen.
How do you know the mercenaries were hired by the shipping company?
How do I know? Let me tell you about these people. That's their MO. It's what they do. Last winter, some poor workers in Terminal E went on a little strike. The company sent in Sediment, a security contractor. The strike was over the workers' right to wear protective footwear, Harry. These guys turn up and start beating people.
Blackwater.
Tell you what, Harry, I wouldn't be surprised if we got the same mercenary company after a little rebranding. And I'm sure as hell not surprised to see an army of scabs under my gates.
So you believe the scabs were organized by the security contractor?
You said it. Hell, one of those guys looks big enough to take down that proverbial elephant. Boys like that don't just happen to show up during strikes.
That does sound quite unlikely, yes. The big guy leading the scabs at the gate is colossal. He's not scared of them. If anything, he likes them being here. Strange.
Mention a lawyer girl?
Oh, Liz is a bright one. I paid for that law degree myself, thinking it'll probably turn her all fancy. But hell, Harry, she came back a firebrand socialist. Sometimes she scares me with her zeal.
Wait, the girl by the whirling, who was keeping an eye on you, is he talking about her? Don't give him the pleasure.
Better not mention it.
Oh, and she also really likes gardening, I hear. In March? Strange. Anyway, let's move on.
Yeah, we pointed that out too there, Mr. Clay. Tell me about Titus.
Oh, they are simply fine young men, all 7 of them. Exemplary union members, always working to advance their position in the local socialist democratic movement. Core members. Old Theo used to run them, but things really kicked into gear when Titus took the reins and named the group after himself. Gotta love his initiative.
The Hardy Boys.
Interesting. Who's second in command?
They're almost all of them great guys, born leaders. Whatever happened, I'm sure they only had the best interests of Martinez and Revachol in mind.
It's very clear that Claire continues to not acknowledge Kim.
Work with them. Hell, interview them. But don't fight them. They really are just like you. Men who like beer, women, and some order on the streets. You know what, Harry? I got a feeling they're gonna show up in full force tomorrow.
The lieutenant marks something in his notebook.
In the future, I can use your backing. Can you ask the Hardy Boys to cooperate?
But of course! It's the least I can do for my good friend Harry. I'll do it right after we've concluded this talk.
When you meet this Titus, tell him about this. See what he has to say.
Also, Harry, here's 5 real.
Why don't you give it to me?
I'm not giving you anything. I'm just holding out 5 real.
This is 5 real!
Needless to say, this is another move. Don't take it.
I don't need it. I only wanted you to help me with the Hardy Boys.
Oh, I wasn't offering it to you, just holding it out there. I'm willing to share information.
Here's
Was
5.
there anything else?
Here's $5.
Was it a good talk? I'm not sure we made much headway here.
Can you
I was hoping
imagine?
we'd bust the case wide
Can
open.
you imagine?
I even wanted to tell you what I really want to achieve with the strike. I don't know what happened, Harry. I wanted you to feel like Mr. Martinez.
For me?
And of course.
No, just in
I
general.
also wanted you to find your guy. But it's like I can't completely trust you. Yet.
Yet?
Yes, Harry. It's like I can't fully trust you if you're not a man of the left. I want to, but I just can't.
I'm literally...
A man of the left. So you have to be a social democrat.
Are you kidding me?
He's been hurt too much in the past by men who aren't social democrats.
What's that supposed to mean? I'm more left than you are.
You're saying it, but I don't believe you. You know how it is. Company snitches, agent provocateurs everywhere. I'm barricaded in this fortress of mine, and I need to get a message out.
Literally.
Help me.
Literally. Literally.
And what would this entail?
Once again, I require nothing unethical or illegal of you. You just need to get 2 little signatures on this piece of paper, and then mail it to my accountant in La Delta.
Okay, what do you think of this?
It depends. I don't think what we just got from Mr. Clare was very useful.
But, he thinks, it's your call.
As I said, it weighs on me heavily. But once we get really talking...
Delusion!
Well, I'm gonna hand you the keys to Martinez. And maybe even help you figure out who's behind this killing.
He's saying as little as possible, as vaguely as he can.
What are signatures for?
Deliberately omitting things.
I'm glad you asked, Harry. The Union is going to build a modern youth centre in Martinez. It will be righteous. We're gonna get those teenagers off drugs. And on roller skates.
Oh.
There's a nameless little street on the coast with some old houses around it. Most people have already signed. I just need 2 more signatures to get this mission off the ground, Harry.
Where's this place exactly?
On the coast, Harry, across the canal. There's a cul-de-sac there, a little village they're calling it. A gloomy place. You'll find it. I trust your detective skills, Harry.
Water drips from the eaves. A woman looks at her freshly tarred skiff. There's a pair of cavalry boots under the fish in the box, and the wind howls like a vicious spirit. You're already pretty deep into this. What's a little more? No one can see you here in Martinez.
What will happen to the current occupants?
They are just gonna have to deal with the construction noise for 6 months, and then they'll be living like kings. Right next to a fancy new youth centre, designed by the best architects from Stella Marie.
Is he absolutely sure the tenants won't be thrown out in the street?
Are you 100% sure that no one's going to end up homeless?
Am I? Harry, these people, Martinez is the most important thing in my life. I would never let anything bad happen to them. We're gonna build a youth centre there. The value of their properties goes up and kids have a place to play in. I'm looking out for these people, not pulling the rug from under them, Harry. I'm looking out for all of Martinez, not just the harbour.
He means it.
Huh.
You bring joy to my heart, Harry. Such a pleasure to be working with you. Here,
Thanks.
you need to get signatures from Isabel Sadie and Lillian Carter. The cul-de-sac is right past the pawn shop and across the canal. I hear there is some trouble with the water lock, but they should fix it by Wednesday morning. Once you have the signatures, mail this to 13022 La Rocca in La Delta. Then, I'll know you're a solid socialist.
So I'm on my last gun.
Yes, your lost gun. My best men are on it. They're turning every stone, searching every playground, asking kids, grandmas, everyone.
Everyone?
Your gun will be found, Harry. Let me assure you of that. It's just a matter of time and effort.
The only way to find it seems to be working with him. He might even be holding your gun hostage.
Could you really hold my gun hostage?
Who knows? Only one thing is certain. If you work with him, you're going to get it back. And working with him might be the only way to do it.
Does that mean if I do things for you, I'll get my gun back?
Damn it, Harry. That's exactly what it means. I'm only kidding, of course.
He is not.
Of course. I understand. We help you, you help us.
What's in that container outside your office?
My dear Harry, there are literally millions of containers in this harbour. I couldn't possibly remember what's in all of them.
I find that hard to believe, sir.
Harry, you smooth-talking son of a bitch. Time is a precious resource, and I don't have enough of it to count containers with you.
Smooth talking. Maybe that's the way to go about
My
opening the container.
God!
You should at least try convincing it.
I just need to talk to the container. I'm at Joyce.
Oh, that's very nice. I haven't gotten around to her yet. I'm very, very busy, you see. I hope you're getting along. One thing I want to make very clear, Harry, is that this is not some kind of union versus corporation situation. Everyone is just pals here.
Just pals, huh?
We're all trying to do what's best for Martinez. Don't feel like you can't cooperate with her because you and I are such good friends and I'm helping you find your lost gun. I'm not a jealous guy.
Whoa, that's so nice of him. Suspiciously nice.
You sure? I find that a little odd.
I'm just a nice guy, Harry. I wouldn't be where I am now if I wasn't nice. Politics is all about emotions, and I want you to have positive emotions when you think of me.
Okay then, positive emotions it is. You like positive emotions.
God. What happened to the previous negotiator?
What do you mean, Harry?
He made concessions
Nothing.
for the company
I
in
let
previous
him go.
negotiations. Why would you let an ally like that go?
He's an old man, Harry. I wanted him to spend more time with his family. God knows how long he's got left.
You called him a midget.
Harry, I have little people in my organization. I would never call someone a midget. What is this? Honestly, I'm beginning to think you're a midget, Harry. I'm only kidding, Harry. You're not a midget. No one is. We're pals.
It's hard to say if he really lost his temper, or if this is another one of his tricks. This man almost never angers visibly.
Joyce said the previous union leader vanished under suspicious circumstances.
Vanished? Harry, the woman left her casserole in the oven and couldn't make it here in time for the voting. Oh, did I leave my casserole on? Better go home and check. The election can wait. When she got back, the whole thing was over.
Wait, there was no mention of a casserole from Joyce.
Funny, Joyce never mentioned a casserole.
Harry, Harry, Harry. Do not fixate on this little matter. Maybe it was a rabbit stew, or a hairdryer, or an iron. The point is, her heart wasn't in it. Mine was.
That much is true. His heart truly is in it, though you wouldn't think so by looking at him. This particular brand of humor he has, it makes for a fine distraction.
Hmm.
If it's spilled blood you're looking for, then there certainly isn't any in his expression.
Why have you let her in to see her?
If she actually wants to see me, she will find a way. Any good negotiator would. And I just don't have anything to discuss with a bad negotiator.
It's a fortress. He knows she can't get in here. He doesn't want to see her. It's as simple as that.
Let's talk about something
Of
else.
course, Harry. Let me just assure you one more time. It's perfectly okay to share anything we discuss here with this Joyce. This is a completely transparent organization. I have no interest in what she is doing, but I myself have nothing to hide. Your business is your business, and I respect your privacy. Just remember, none of this is secret. Tell her about all of it. My brother's picture, my singing swordfish clock.
It sings?
Tell her how overweight I am and how I'm helping you find your lost gun. Tell her about everything. Everett doesn't mind.
It is rather interesting to tell people things about each other, isn't it? It was nice telling him about her right now. This is weird. Not nice weird, but okay.
I'm gonna leave now.
See you soon, Debardeur. Just kidding, but not too much.
Leaves. Leaves instantly. Combusts. Our lucky racist. Oh, that's right. Let's try. We're gonna talk at it.
You're back before the cargo container. Its draw has not lessened since you were last here. If anything, it seems to have grown slightly. Despite the dirt that surrounds and trails you, a beacon of light emerges from deep within you.
Hello? Is anybody there?
The door stands.
42% is not that bad.
Satisfied, detective?
A wry smile crosses the lieutenant's face.
Try again.
There's someone in there. I'd like to talk to you.
Just like that, you hear a click.
Oh my
then
God.
a rattle.
I've never
Some
done this
mechanism
before.
Unlocks itself inside the door.
Ahoy! Come on in!
Oh, mega rich light bending guy. What?
You can't be serious.
Ahoy! Oh my god! Oh my god, I can barely conceive this man! The lights! The lights!
The man stands at the far end
Oh my god!
container. It's hard to say anything more about him. You cannot make out any of his details, but you do feel the overwhelming presence of capital.
He's so rich, he's making me rich!
The feeling causes all the hairs on your body to stand at attention, like soldiers preparing for review.
Squint.
Something's amiss. The light beams bend around his face and scatter in 1,000 directions. It seems the laws of physics do not apply here. They are suspended, distorted, and echo. Trying to visualize the physics at play is liable to give you an aneurysm. Don't think about it too hard.
Impossible. Failure.
In the general stillness, only your tongue moves.
Hello.
Flickering as you
Welcome. Come in. Make yourself at home. Sorry, I'm not better able to receive you. I wasn't expecting visitors today.
You can't hear him exactly, yet you're able to understand every word he says. It is very strange. An overwhelming hum covers everything.
That's some Cal
Voice
vibes.
doesn't escape from him.
Now, what can I do for you, gentlemen?
You can see the body appears composed in a sharp center suit and yacht shoes. Who are you?
Who am I? Oh, I haven't been asked that question for such a long time. I don't meet a lot of people outside my circle these days. Anyhow, my name is Rustam Diodore, investor, license holder, and extremely high net worth individual.
Yeah, I can
And
see
you
that.
are?
Mr. Diodore, I am Lieutenant Kim Kitsuragi of the RCM, and this is my partner.
I'm a detective.
Pleasure to meet you. Public service is a noble cause.
How did you become so rich?
Oh lord, not this again.
What's the matter, Kim?
Oh, nothing. It's just that we've got this murder to solve, and yet you go around asking everyone about money. And every time I ask, are you sure this is related to the case, you say, sure, Kim, I think it is. And yet, it never seems to get us any closer to solving the case.
It's quite alright. I'm used to the question by now. To be blunt, I inherited my fortune from my grandmother, who herself was an extremely high net worth individual back in Grad. All I did was take her fortune and invest it prudently. Believe it or not, it takes more than a bit of skill not to blow a vast fortune on sailing boats, bad choices, and unsupervised state policy.
And blow.
And blow.
Actually, at the level this guy is, it takes several generations to do that. But, alright.
What's it like being an extremely high net worth individual?
I gotta tell you, at first, being rich is a lot of work. You've got to work hard because everything's so darn expensive. You know, prices increase exponentially at this income level. But then, once you've reached my position, it's nearly impossible for me not to make money. My assets are so diversified that I'm bound to come out ahead no matter what.
Schemes within schemes!
Some of my lower net worth friends say to me, but doesn't that take all the fun out of it? And I tell them, not really.
Don't you think you should use your great wealth for the glory of your fatherland? You're a thief! People out there are working their asses off while you chill here.
And that's what? Unjust? I think it's perfectly just.
You're using your money as its own justification.
Listen, I used to be an idealist just like you, but the truth is that we have no objective system by which to measure someone's value other than the market. We should just embrace that rather than resist it. The hand that allocates resources among men is invisible and cruel, but it is steady, measured. Indeed, it is just.
Say nothing.
Capital makes one speechless, does it not? Blinds like the sun that rises from beyond the horizon after a gloomy winter.
He is a slave to capitalism.
Hey, all this talk about money has made you lose the thread. What is going on with the light in this place?
There's something
That's what
strange about you.
What do you mean?
You look a little different.
Are you talking about my chin?
No, I mean, I can't even see you. It's like as if something happened to the light.
Oh, that's what you mean. Yes, I've heard of this effect, though I've never witnessed it myself, of course. It has something to do with our Weiss-Wiesemann coefficient.
The Weiss-Wiesemann coefficient is a ratio designed to reflect the difference in net worth between individuals. When the coefficient is close to 1, or 100%, it means one person possesses all the net worth among that group of individuals. It's been observed that when the Weiss-Wiesemann coefficient reaches about 0.96 or so, the laws of physics begin to bend around the high
Are you
net worth
fucking
individual.
kidding me? There are physics to wealth in this universe? So what's our coefficient?
The Weiss-Wiesemann coefficient for you and this individual appears to be 0.9998, repeating.
Oh my god!
That's not good for you.
Are you telling me that you're so rich that light literally bends around your face?
Among other things. But calm down. I'm but a lowly single-digit billionaire.
I'm calm.
That's good.
Kim, are you seeing this weird stuff?
I see nothing of the sort. To be frank, all I see is a gentleman who's unusually well dressed for Martinez.
No!
In a cargo container, which I admit is odd.
No! Kim!
Yes. I imagine that does look strange to you. My container.
What are you doing in this container?
Traveling. This is a great way to get around. It's fun. It's
This is
safe,
actual physics, though!
lots of time to think. By the way, let me now ask you a question. Where are we exactly?
What is wrong with this man?
In the very, very early days of colonizing this archipelago, the kingdom of Surens, a precursor of a modern Sur-le-Clay, used to own the city of Revachol, an obscure detail in the bigger picture, but still worth dropping.
Let's see. We're in Revachol, formerly a colony of the kingdom of the Suzerain.
Ah, a fellow history buff. I myself am currently reading up on Franco-Nigerian era trains. Very interesting stuff. It's a shame I can't get out and explore myself. One of the downsides of being an extremely high net worth individual is that mobs of low net worth individuals are constantly banding together to ask for money.
So why don't you help him?
There simply aren't enough hours a day to hand out all the handouts. It's like feeding seagulls. There are always more, and they never seem to do anything interesting with it, except more seagulls. Spending money is a matter of desire. I'm sure you agree. I don't have the desire for spending it like that.
So you travel from place to place via shipping containers?
Smart, no? It also provides a means to hide from all the targeted advertising we extremely high net worth individuals are constantly subjected to.
Guy looks super cool, but Jesus Christ.
Luxury yachts, high fidelity portable radio systems, fail-proof outerwear, and so on.
Oh.
It just gets a bit middle class after a while.
Oh my god.
Bourgeois.
Alright, so you're saying being rich isn't worth the hassle?
What? No, I didn't say that at all. Being rich is great. Just don't tell anyone I told you that.
We should get back to our investigation.
Why go so soon? I feel we've so much more to talk about. Ah, well, until next time.
The closer I get to him, the more my money goes up. It's insane. Kim, what the fuck was that? Kim, like seriously, what the fuck was that? Kim, like there were actually physics involved with wealth there. That man was so much richer than me that light appeared to be bending around him due to my perception of reality. This is a recorded scientific phenomena. But apparently, Kim is so much more rich than me that it's not at 96% for Kim. So that means Kim... This man is the Pale Incarnate. He's doing fucking something. In case of strike, push button. Press button behind guard. Alright, we're gonna talk to Joyce, and then we're gonna go deal with Titus. Or actually, no, we gotta find out what's going on with the,
Yes?
the drugs.
Still here. Stuck in this damn jam, my man.
Alright, I'll walk around. Deal with the racist lorry driver.
Looking for something?
You could push him by asking him to show you the soles of his boots. He definitely looks like someone capable of a lynching.
Let me see your soles of your boots.
Been admiring the stompers, huh? Sure thing. Check them out.
Look at the shoal.
On the bottom of the man's boots, you see an intricate tangle of treads with no immediately discernible pattern. The wind howls over the Bay of Rivershaw, a cascade of cold air flowing through the city streets. Those same streets have left their share of scuff marks on the underside of your green snake
Is that a map of
shoes.
Rivershaw?
It sure is.
Where'd you get boots like that?
Custom made. Cost me a pretty penny.
Why?
For when the invasion comes, the last thing they'll see before the lights go out is illustrious Revachol.
It doesn't look like the lieutenant cares. He just makes a little note.
You do understand you're stomping on Rivershaw every day, don't you?
No, it's not like that. You don't get it. It's when I kick them, you know? Oh, fuck it. It's too complex for you.
What was that argument all about?
It's about biological determinism, natural law, the sorting of the races. Not the most popular topic nowadays, with a coalition in charge and all. You might want to change the topic. That is, bury your head under the sand like common sheep.
Change the topic. The way he says it makes it almost sound like a threat.
Oh, so you're just a racist. Makes sense.
I'm not just racist. Look, I've read books, huh? The science of racial theory has all been proved, even if some people don't want to accept it. People who've studied these things say that you and me are superior by design. So, naturally, we Occidentals should be in charge. Obviously, you can see the merits in that.
Race is a simplistic means of social classification based on easily observed attributes, hunches, and pseudoscience.
You just look at people and make up arbitrary judgments.
The lieutenant tries to remain impassive, but the slight arch of his eyebrow tells you that he's liking it.
Yeah, Kim, my boy.
As arbitrary as any judgment, that doesn't make it less of a fact. We'll have to use facts. Huh? Once you accept it, you'll gain the clarity of understanding.
He is comfortable reciting these thoughts. He's spent quite a lot of time meditating on the subject.
Oh, so what else have you thought up?
So, lately we Occidentals have experienced an unfortunate downturn when members of the superior race cease to believe in their innate superiority. They stop competing for resources.
Okay, and yeah, what's the problem with that?
The problem? The damn kips are showing a real good game lately. Same with the mosquitoes. And the other introduced species too. They're on the precipice of cultural victory.
Cultural victory? What is this then?
What's this cultural victory?
It's what the kips of Boogie Street are going for, right under our noses. And the others too, on the radio. Heard any chansons lately? Heard any motetos or leader? No. Dominating culture is how they plan to win. They say so themselves.
Uh-huh. Say nothing.
It's true. Also, you need to
think
realize
you
the
get-
dangers
I'm sorry.
of mixing races. Who knows what might happen if people don't stay in their birthplace? You might end up with a new sub-race, with unknown characteristics, leading to extra competition. That's why you've got to control the offspring.
Yeah, I'm not down with this. Why don't you go fuck yourself?
Don't push your luck, Runt. Looking for something odd? Come to tell me to fuck off again?
Yeah. You're a lawyer, man. What's your stance on
What?
drugs?
They're shit, man. I don't let anything pollute my body.
Yeah. Why not?
You know where that shit comes from? Sarah Miriza, Safre, Ilmara. They take the money from our local junkies here and then use it to outcompete us in the manufacturing sector. They know they can't beat us in a fair fight, so they have to get us to weaken ourselves somehow. It's racial sabotage, racial economic sabotage.
There's your in. Take his side in this particular fight.
It's our responsibility to keep the poison out of the streets, right?
He eyes you wearily, unsure how to respond. This goes on for about 2 seconds. Then, damn, it didn't work. You should have signaled you're a nationalist before.
I don't know shit. And if I did, I wouldn't tell you.
And why are you still hanging around here?
What do you think? I can't leave the lorry unguarded. Stuff's been getting looted lately. It's those little kips sneaking around at night. If they touch my stuff, the bosses will be on my ass like ass cancer.
There was a bunch of spilled boxes in the back of a big lorry nearby.
I did see one lorry with the doors open.
Yeah, I knew that guy. He was an honest driver who loved his country. We were having a good debate about genetics at the Wheeling in Rags when some kip boys smashed his lock and took damn near everything. Lost his fucking job over it. Since he left, I haven't had anyone to talk to.
If they were getting drunk inside the whirling in rags, how could they know who broke into the lorry?
How'd you know?
What? Aren't we allowed to say that he's a kips who do all the stealing around here? That's not road to science, man.
Who's running drugs?
Isn't it obvious? Fucking Sealang. That beady-eyed South Samaran. His little side business is a scam. I wouldn't be surprised if he was peddling drugs as well.
Who's that?
He's a Samaran guy who likes to pretend he's some kind of businessman. But really, he's just selling his employer stuff. Stuff he stole after he broke the seals on his Humanox lorry.
Where'd I find him?
Just follow the smell. It smells like apricot and oil when you're nearby.
Yes. Where is he?
Looks like I offended your partner there. Too bad. Sealang's usually a little bit south of here, near the canal. You can't miss him. Just watch yourselves. His tribe are natural liars. It's in their blood. He's your man, all right. 100%.
I wouldn't be so sure about it. Not until we've heard what Sealang himself has to say.
We'll pay him a visit
Guess
then.
so.
Ooh, change.
A lorry stuck in the
Look in the window.
The windows are clear. They've been recently washed. You can see a lorryman's cabin with personal belongings, stickers, insignia. Fumes of heavy fuel oil waft over you, making your eyes sting.
Where are the
The
stickers?
driver has adorned his space with a substantial collection of peculiar paraphernalia. Proclamations about honor, strength, and purity are glued to various panels. A large metal pendant hangs from the rear view mirror. The pendant features a sun crown with wavy rays. It is the seal of Royalist era Revachol.
What about that seat?
The back end of the cabin has a small perch with a book
Suns.
with ragged edges catches your notice. The front cover features a large, muscular man.
The Heimdall
The
stuff.
title reads, Man from Eamdal in the
Eamdal.
lost city of the Pygmies.
Racist nationalist paraphernalia. Not unusual in this part of town.
Think this lorry belongs to a
This
tough
is
guy?
our guy. Likely, yes. This guy's proud of who he is. Drapes it all over his machine.
There he is, in front of Rita, smoking nervously, hoping it's over. He was acting tough before. This probably scared him a bit. Who knows when it will come in handy? A slightly scared, racist lorryman.
Leave. Fuck him up. Foreign car kept in good condition. Take the change. Talk to this lady.
The small.
Oh, Pale Driver looks so cool.
She nods along to something on her radio. A photograph is clutched in her hands, and there is a warm smile on her face. The photo, an ambrotype from the turn of the century, as golden as her smile. It's the warmth of a winter night's fire. Maybe she could give you comfort and shelter, some cigarettes and food money. Maybe she's your...
Grandma?
Nothing. Her smile just keeps widening. Her hair is gray like lead. No, this one is a monster in disguise.
Excuse me, ma'am, I had some questions for you.
No response. Wherever this woman is, your words fail to reach her.
Snap.
If you want her attention, you may need to be more forceful.
Snap, snap.
Where am I? Who are you?
Like a magician recalling a subject from hypnosis, you've jolted her back to reality.
The smile on her face has disappeared, replaced by the wary aspect of a cornered beast.
Me? I'm the law around here.
Then I don't suppose you could tell me where we are, Lowman. Never mind. I remember now. I'm still stuck in that traffic jam in the 50s.
When else would you be then?
Back in Methka, during the time of the revolution.
Methka.
The sidewalks and cafes are filled with the young people. I was on my way to see a new Boyadero picture starring Gabriel Guendero. Until you came along, that is.
Who's Gabriel?
This is Gabriel Guendero.
Gabriel.
A strikingly handsome man looks straight at you, his head crowned with a wide brim hat. His hair is dark as an oil slick, and his jaw the most perfectly chiseled thing you've ever seen.
God damn, he's handsome.
This man's got a hold over her. Even 50 years later, you can feel it.
1 second, everybody. I'm making a sandwich. I'm making a sandwich. I want to eat it. I feel like someone ate most of my peanut butter, but I don't think that's possible. You really don't realize until it's like all gone, you know? You just mind your own business, making your sandwiches day after day, and one day you open up your peanut butter and then whammo, it's all gone. It's all gone. Terrible. I don't even know how this stuff happens. I thought I had left here with like full peanut butter. When I get back, there's barely anything. Barely anything left. It's a shame, really. But you know what? I persevere. I endure. I survive. And by God, I'm gonna keep doing it. Alright, we're back. We're back. We're coming back. I'm sitting down. We're coming back.
He was the biggest star of his day. Girls used to faint in the aisles of cinema whenever he came on the screen. And schoolboys used to memorize all his lines.
In all likelihood, it's a world that's only ever existed in her mind.
So take it you were in Methka when you were young?
Someone was.
So are these not your memories?
They are someone's memories, boy. What difference does it make if it's me or not?
God, the Pale is so fucking cool.
They're beautiful. That is all that matters. Beautiful and true. And they will win. They're coming for this, you know? All of this.
All of what? The world. The present. She seems to derive some bitter pleasure from this strange thought, as if the past will one day wipe the present away, like a tidal wave approaching.
I wasn't dreaming. I was there, Lowman. It was early spring, and the mine behind the Black Sun had just come out. The posters were 20 meters tall. Everything was golden. While you, people, were tearing each other apart over your petty little revolution, in Methk, it was a golden age.
The Republic of Methk is a massive confederation on the Isola of Muindi, the world's largest state by territory. It's a petrostate, a constitutional monarchy, and, as of recently, an outcast due to its tilt to the far right.
Why not, Harife? It's not like I have anything better to do in this hellhole.
There's something off about this woman. Tell her to show you the soles of her boots. Maybe she was at the hanging somehow.
Now what do you want with an old woman's boots, Sheriff? I'm starting to think you should let me get back to Gabriel Buenguerro. You are no Gabriel.
She's wearing sturdy worker's boots, made of black leather. Buckles run across. The sole is also made of leather.
Just before Gabriel, it was the coronation of Franco Negro. Now, there was a real man.
Moreover, the boots were size 37. Tiny. There are too many discrepancies in all this. Another discrepancy, although not boot-related, is the coronation of His Innocence, Franco Negro, which happened 500 years ago.
It was. And then it was no more. And I was no longer holding my father's hand. He was no longer descending the stairs in Ryle. The crowd had gone silent. Perhaps it was another Herife who came and woke me up, looking at my boots, asking questions. Or perhaps it was one of the others in this carnival. I don't remember.
As she says carnival, she gestures to the empty square, with the statue and the machines.
I could have told you that from just looking at them. The size is 37.
The feet of a little girl. They fit well on the pedals.
What are you hauling?
Diamonds. Of course not. But wouldn't it be marvelous if I was?
That would be.
Whatever stupid things they put in the lorry, I imagine.
Oh, that's good enough for me.
Is that all you wanted to know, Lowman?
You seem to be away.
She's just a distracted old woman. We should maybe let her get back to her things.
So he doesn't think she's a smuggler.
You hear that, Lowman? I don't think your partner likes you spending too much time with me.
Why is that?
Nothing. I just don't think she's connected to anything.
He doesn't want your frail mind caught up in something here. Something unconnected to the case. But connected to this woman tuning out like that.
Oh, don't worry about me. I'm one of the best communers around. I drive routes no one else will. Lomonosov's Land, Udashnaya Zemlya, Western Plain.
A terrible cold comes over her, rattling her teeth as she stares inward.
The Pale is so fucked up because it takes the past and it puts it in people.
The Transcatolia Magistral. You for 1A. Adestradas du Mirador. All the good ones. The deep trenches. Where the bluebirds fly. You're right, Lowman. I'm the one who should take my health more seriously. Thank you for looking out for me.
I mean, you can tell due to her picture. She's all faded.
A correct appraisal. You're quite shabby.
Oh, yes.
Is that all you woke me up to say?
You look like a woman who knows a thing or two about drugs.
What do I need drugs for, Lowman? What I see, what I feel. The great adversary. No drugs can compare.
The adversary?
Yes. There is a protagonista and an adversario. I am on the side of the adversary. There's no coming back from that hole.
Those epithets are familiar somehow. The great adversary. The Great Unrest. I don't like the sound of any of that. Sounds like a horrible drug. The worst one of them all.
Degradation. Entropy. It's not really what I was getting at.
Then what were you getting at?
This line of questioning is going nowhere. Try harder. Maybe if she thought you're corrupt.
Everett sent me.
Who the fuck is Irrat?
Union boss?
Ah, and what do I care about the Union boss? He's no Gabriel. He's no Franco Negro. He's not even Hermenegildo the Hound.
The Hand! Are you smuggling drugs?
Maybe. Probably not. Makes no difference to me either way.
Could be drugs?
Just this month, I made half a dozen trips from Saramiris to Grad. On the U41A. What do you think they take from Saramiris to Grad?
I don't know.
Man. It's diamonds, Lowman, obviously.
Damn this. Make her answer.
If you gotta make a guess, who do you think was smuggling drugs around here?
Easy. He's the skinny man who thinks he's a poet. Never trust a poet.
Never trust a poet.
Also, he's the only one I can see from here.
That's correct. There is no visibility of any of the others.
Alright, if you're not involved with drug trading, why are you still
Where
waiting
do
here?
you want me to go? This isn't so bad. I can listen to music, or the seagulls. Look at all the colors and the futures of this world. It's a good palate cleanser, this jamboree. Or I can just relax and let my mind carry me back where it will, to the Great Plains.
I think we're done here, no?
Thank you, bye.
Yes, go. Enough jamboree. I need to get back to Mesquite.
Who is this? I am Felipe III, the Squanderer, the greatest of Philippine kings of Revelchol, son of Felipe II, the opulent father Felipe IV, the insane.
Not a good track record of mental health in that family. As you look up, you notice something about the statue. There are some odd indentations on the king's chest piece.
What do I see?
Something with great kinetic energy seems to have impacted the cuirass, around where the heart is. A bullet? Someone shot him in the heart. Interesting.
Someone has shot the king.
Okay, I can't see it, but I take your word for it.
Ah, it's the communist.
Well, Martinez is riddled with bullet holes. This place saw a lot of action during the revolution, but the statue is recently renovated, so maybe a joke? Target practice?
I think it's connected to the murder.
Statement. If we connect every bullet hole in Martinez to the murder, we'll get an overwhelming amount of loose threads. But then again, our guy was shot, and that hole would be recent. It's not completely tangential, at least worth noting down. I wouldn't hold my breath, though.
We'll see.
We'll see indeed.
The king stands high above you, surveying
Encyclopedia.
the bay. Even by the standards of the Philippian kings, old sumptuous Philip was known for his
Philip,
profligacy.
not Felipe.
Well, he blew through the whole national treasury, starting the decline of one of the penultimate century's greatest superpowers, the suzerain of Revelchol. His own maladministration foreshadowed the fall of the monarchy. During the anti-centennial revolution, an end to his family line and the monarchy on the Insulindian Isola.
How did he blow through the whole thing?
Stories have it that he had his bedroom converted into a treasure chamber, where he stored unfathomable wealth. Krugerrands, bars of gold, ornate weaponry, armor, and various chalices.
Chalices.
There were whispers he slept on a huge pile of gold-dipped feathers, like some obese dragon, instead of a bed, like a normal person.
No wonder everything went to shit.
But wait, You haven't even heard about his fabled cocaine addiction.
The what now?
You see, old Philippe wasn't just good at squandering the national treasury on gold and ceremonial weaponry, he was also a prodigious snorter of nose candy. Not just any nose candy, though. We're talking Royal Philippian Blow, allegedly twice as potent as the stuff you find nowadays, and purple. Philippian cocaine was purple.
A bloated druggie.
That's what the revolutionaries said 150 years later, right before they emptied out the royal mausoleum and dumped His Majesty's mortal remains in the Insulindian Bay.
Where's he buried now?
Beneath the cold waters of the Insulindian Bay, thrown there by the revolutionaries after they cleaned out the royal mausoleum. A group of marble pleurons still surround the king's vandalized tomb. A deathly cold wind sweeps up candy wrappers and old newspapers.
What happened to the statue?
The original was blown apart by communards, then further damaged during the landing of the coalition's airships during the turn-of-the-century revolution, when Martinez was leveled. Most historians think the coalition's hasty landing may have ultimately saved the statue. If the communards had more time, they would have reduced it up to even finer pieces.
Restored the monument.
Some years ago, a group of liberal, artistically inclined individuals, designers mostly, thought it would be ironic to restore the statue of the most wasteful ruler of Revachol in the poorest part of the city. The statue is supposed to capture the moment it was blown apart, like an instant frozen in time, a rare butterfly trapped in amber, floating on a sea of shit.
It's brilliant, so funny and nihilistic.
People in Martinez tend to disagree, as do many prominent art critics and thought leaders with more nuanced social awareness than the young ironists. Those critics might have it wrong, though. There's more to it than just ironism, but you can't say what precisely. Perhaps this art mystery will be solved at a later time.
Ooh.
Philip III, the Squanderer, however, with his bronze face up in the air, doesn't seem concerned about what the hoi polloi think of him in death. Not that he ever did in life either.
Very interesting. That's weird.
Stuck in the rain in a traffic jam, man.
Stop! There's smokes between that Stop right there! There's smokes there! Thanks, electrochemistry. Appreciate that. God. Lord. Lord! I like a spirit core. Alright, let's talk to Silang. Electro is a bloodhound, but only for drugs. Yeah, it makes sense. Hey, look! It's Delta Logistics Company. You know what that company's all about, right, Eddie? Right? You've heard of the Delta Logistics Company? They do lots of stuff. Yeah, you've never heard of DLC? Waterlock out of order until Wednesday. Butter sign down! Butter sign down! The cheek! The cheek. Fast cash for faster times.
You see a Samarran street vendor surrounded by a motley assemblage of goods. When he realizes you're looking at him, his face breaks into a wide, welcoming grin.
Soup.
The name Sileng is
Sileng.
embroidered over his breast pocket.
Happy shopping, officer. Everything's cool here.
Oh, he's a different voice actor now. What's so cool?
Everything's cool. The goods are cool. The customers are cool. The place is cool. And one more thing, officer.
What is it, Sileng?
From out on the bay, a cool wind gathers. It sweeps into the city, tugging at the textiles hanging around the stand. Some distance away, the sound of a tin can clattering across the street can be heard.
You're very cool.
He makes both
Bang,
hands.
bang, bang, bang.
You feel a twitch in your index fingers. There's a finger shootout brewing.
Whip him out!
Don't shoot, officer. Have we got an arrest here or just a shakedown?
Even better. It's like a shakedown, but somehow legal. This is civil asset forfeiture.
Even better, it's civil asset forfeiture. Make an imaginary warning shot.
Oh, you're threatening my inviolable property rights.
Hails dramatically, then simmers down.
Good joke, officer. You're very funny. You know that?
Yeah, I'm funny. This isn't civil fortitude. I just want to ask some questions.
Then fire away, officer.
I'm not gonna persuade him to give me money. Or do I? No! Where you come from, Sileng?
Me? It's a boring story, officer. Who cares about the past? I'm all business now.
Finger
all revolution.
pistols, 9mm. Nah, I'm not gonna do that now.
This man probably comes from Seaguy, sometimes known as the Apricot Suzerainty, an archipelago in the Samarran Isola.
Sounds good. Let's get back to business then.
Very cool. I like your style, officer.
So what's your stance on drugs, fella?
Drugs? I don't go in for that, officer. Drugs ruin lives.
I believe it.
Unless you're into drugs, of course. In which case, drugs are excellent. Mwah! Tasty, tasty drugs.
I don't like drugs.
That's very cool. I don't like drugs either. I only said I do because I didn't want to sound lame. Peer pressure.
All the cool kids, you say?
Sir, it appears to be true. No drugs in sight. Not in the box of sunglasses or under the speakers.
Yeah, we're looking for a lorry driver.
That's even cooler. You investigating narcotics crimes like that? But I am not a lorry driver. I'm just a street vendor. I don't know anything about that.
A blatant lie, sire. Yet he tells it with such conviction. We'd believe him if we didn't know better.
You are a lorryman. None of the drivers identified you in your lorry.
Who said that? It's the fat racist, right? I bet it's him. He has an agenda against me because I'm an immigrant who works harder than he does. He's a hater.
So you admit you're a lorry driver?
No, I just said I work harder and he's an asshole.
Realizing he can't get out of it. Smart man.
Okay, maybe I'm a lorry driver too. A little. But that's not the most important thing about me. That's my day job. This is my dream.
So you're embarrassed to tell me?
No, I just forgot. It's such a small part of my life. It's in the rear view mirror now. I'm climbing out of that hole. With ingenuity.
What do you know about the drug operation here?
Nothing. I told you. I'm not a dumb guy. I don't get involved with that crowd.
And what crowd is that?
Crowd? You know, the drug crowd?
No, he wasn't talking about an abstract crowd. It was that crowd. He doesn't want to talk about them. He's afraid.
Who are you afraid of, Sealing?
Look, There's bad people doing bad things here. That's all I know. Please don't get me into this mess. I've spent 15 years working my way up.
Here we go. There's a tiny bit of truth on the table. Zoom in on it.
We're buddies saying, like, help us out. No one will know it was you.
It's a she, okay? The other drivers call her the lady driver. You're better off staying away from her.
Who are these
The way
other
they
drivers
talk about
who
her.
talk?
She's no lady. All of them. I don't know. I told you all I know. Are we cool now? I really want us to be cool now.
Who exactly is talking about this lady driver of yours? The racist or the other one with the tattoos?
All of them. Even the ones who've left. I don't hang out with them. I don't remember who has tattoos.
It's the pale driver?
I don't know. Maybe.
It could be. She was strange. He's not ruling her out.
Okay, we're cool
All
now.
right.
I'll look around.
There are clothes inside.
Don't be shy. These are premium class clothes. Good quality fabrics, best retro design. Save the economy with your style, officer.
How
Thanks,
about
Harry.
some premium class service over here? Like paying with net worth. Go over and ask him if you can do that. Save the economy. That sounds off.
Save the economy. What are you talking about?
Haven't you heard, officer? We've got to be economically conscious. Recycle your cash, keep it in circulation. Don't buy new things. Buy eco.
Why does the economy need saving?
Look around, officer. You see all these premium goods just sitting there, not getting bought? We've got to keep the flow of goods moving. Is this really the economy we want to leave to our children?
It's just nature. Powerful economies expand, weak economies go extinct. I have children, I think.
Too bad, officer.
Browse the
You
box.
find your hands deep in tattered and faded garments made from weird polyester blends that make your body itch and sweat in all the wrong places. The box smells like cat piss or like an old person with no money.
Economical, but also trendy. Look first hand, buy second hand. Keep the economy moving.
Something cold grazes your hand. Synthetic and sleek. A windbreaker.
Surf, wind, summer, 100%
Surf, it
waterproof in
says.
sport.
This jacket is the apex of human evolution. The moment at which man became weatherproof. Practical, and yet it may deaden your senses to the world around you. Possibly because of the awful typeface.
Good choice, officer. Mega sporty. And it's only $4.50 for you, sir.
I'll leave for now.
You see two lowly, defeated speakers, thralls, slaves basically, perched atop them like conquerors surveying the land. A pair of...
I can see you've a taste for luxury, officer. Can't keep your eyes off those sneakers?
I want the speakers.
Speaking of luxury, you should go over and ask about paying for those sneakers with your net worth. These once respectable speakers have been conquered, reduced to a mere prop by the indomitable Found Ultras atop them. A small heat emboss on the veneer reads, Solidarity Aid from the People's Republic of Samara. The speakers themselves don't seem to display any magical qualities.
No, don't look at the speakers, officer. Look at the sneakers. The sneakers are the stars here.
Poor little speakers.
No, don't pity them, officer. These are old Samaran garbage. Don't even look at them. Check out these super cool, fun Ultras instead.
Samaran trash. That sounds like they're from the Samaran People's Republic, produced under the dictatorship of the proletariat.
Can I just buy the sad, conquered Samaran speakers?
No way, officer. These aren't for sale. They're bad speakers. Low-fi socialist junk.
That's why I want them. I think I want to be a lo-fi socialist junk myself.
No, officer. You're a high-class policeman who accepts nothing less than the best. Lucky for you, I've got the best on sale.
I want the speakers.
Well, if you want them, but see, they are the pedestal for my sneakers. If I let go of the speakers, where will the sneakers go? I can't leave premium lifestyle sneakers on the ground. If, on the other hand, you wanted to buy the sneakers too, I could maybe throw in the speakers for little extra. 50 cents?
Damn, so you have to buy the sneakers first. The speakers, you should go over.
I'm gonna ask him to buy it with my net worth.
Everything's still cool here, officer.
Oh, there's a little money.
Start with a little compliment, then work your way up from there. This is about business, remember.
Would you like to support a member of the local police force?
Oh, okay. But why, officer?
After all this mess, the broken seals, lying to you...
Think of it as an investment.
An investment? What kind of investment?
Or you could not make this about corruption and go with something even wilder.
The guy told me I need money to live, otherwise it's game over, and I don't want to die. It's an investment in me, a higher experimental human being. My risk-reward ratio is insane.
I guess it can't be any riskier than speculating in exotic derivatives. How much are we talking about here?
10 real.
10 real is a bargain for that kind of investment. You got it, my man.
We'll leave you to it.
The speakers, you should go up
Inspect
a
the
pair
sneakers.
of Faun Ultras. The design is impossibly sleek and simple. A futuristic silhouette with a sleek monochrome colorway, a jet black upper, and a silver-lined midsole.
Oh.
Dedicated, victorious, sporty. These Faun sneakers are a must-have for a track and field legend.
Those sneakers, mister. Those sneakers are the latest Faun sneakers. Super air, super fine,
50
super
real?
cool. Only 50 real.
Only? That's madness.
That's straight up madness, dude.
Faun Ultra. We're the future. You remember the slogan from some magazine.
God. Alright, I need those sneakers, though.
Super cool. Now the premium lifestyle is yours, officer.
The sneakers seem to vibrate in your hands with an almost mystical energy.
Alright, let me buy the
The
speakers.
junk is yours, officer. Happy listening. Try not to hurt your ears with that Samaran garbage.
Leave. Jesus. Oof. Oof, ouch, my bones. Got some new sneakers on and I'm looking pretty vicious. I do be looking kind of fresh, though. I'm no longer wearing, like, the awful, wretched...
A crumpled billboard reading, Samaran butter soaks in the canal. Two ugly lines mar the bright countenance of the blonde boy depicted. The sign billboard has fallen on the waterlock, keeping it open, and thus out of order.
What's the butter?
Whatever it is, the boy on the billboard seems very happy about it. Goat milk butter. The Samaran terrain makes it easier to raise goats than cows, and the local goat farmers produce high-quality meat and dairy staples that add variety to other nations' diets. It's an acquired taste.
Let's reconstruct it.
Judging by the size of the impact and the parallel lines of burnt rubber, the cause was probably a motor vehicle.
God.
These look like the same tire tracks I saw earlier, in front of the whirling rags.
Look at the crater.
Side slip marks indicated that the vehicle was traveling up the crater at 35 kilometers an hour.
Look at the roof.
The black marks on the roof indicate that the vehicle vaulted from the crater to the roof of the shack.
Look at the sloping metal roof.
The panel served as a takeoff ramp.
Look at the broken posts.
The vehicle soared through the air, hitting the billboard and upsetting the posts. Then it continued its flight, taking the billboard with it.
Look at the sign.
The sign broke the vehicle's fall into the canal. The Samarin Butter billboard still looks freshly painted, suggesting it took the plunge recently.
How recently?
Within the past 72 hours.
Look at the opposite bank.
Still speeding, the vehicle made a loop and vanished into the fog along the coast.
What was the model of this phantom vehicle?
There are two good candidates, the Caprice 40 and the Linear G22.
Caprice 40?
It's about the right size, and the tire marks look like they came from the skinny tires frequently found on that motor carriage. The Caprice 40 is a very popular model, with bank clerks, topping pie delivery drivers, secondary school teachers, cops, strippers dressed as cops, undressed strippers.
What are the Linear G22?
Very sturdy but light motor carriage. More likely than most to survive that jump. The Linear G22 is not a particularly popular model due to its peculiar proportions, which the manufacturer's design team probably thought about for too long.
What now?
You'd have to follow the tracks to be sure.
Blink.
The lieutenant looks on, waiting for you to wrap up your analysis.
My friend Barry's stuck on the other side. Sad.
The crumpled Samarin Butter billboard still soaks it. There are two good. You'd have to.
He's
follow
just
the
a lot,
tracks
just small
the
miracles.
Any theories about what happened here?
Looks like someone's reckless traffic hooliganism.
What kind of car do you think it was?
I think it was a Caprice 40.
That's quite likely, from what I can tell.
I have some ideas about who it might have been.
Oh,
Perhaps it's somehow connected to the murder.
the traffic hooliganism? I hope not.
We should bring this
Fortunately, we're
driver
not traffic
to
cops.
justice!
Should we get back to the murder? If we must.
I'm not expecting him to get far with this. The lieutenant consoles himself.
It was me! Screams! Screams to the heavens!
Stuck in the rain in a traffic jam, man. What's on your mind?
Hey, I heard one of the drivers is a woman, but I don't think she's here. Do you know this lady driver?
I don't want to talk about that.
I don't mean to pry, but I need your help. She may be involved with the drug business.
Man, I was hoping it isn't going to be her. All I can say is, she isn't around here anymore. She isn't some evil drug trafficker. And I don't know where she is.
I asked you who was conducting the drug trade. You said you didn't know. Now you're saying you do?
I didn't, man. I told you I was hoping it's not her. That she wouldn't be mixed up in it.
He still is, hoping. It's just wishful thinking on his part, not trickery. It's true. We would have caught a lie, but a kind heart is tricky. Bah, emotional rhetoric. He knew something and he didn't share it with you. That's a fact.
Who's this person? What's her name?
Thank God I don't know. People here call her the lady driver. She kept her name a secret. From me too. Now I see why.
Who's she to you?
A friend? An acquaintance. I don't know. She was the only person in this damn jam I could talk to. She's someone I don't want to rat out to the law, okay?
What's she look like?
A youngish woman. Gruff, but in a cool way.
What color hair?
Blue and violet. Dyed. It was violet when she got here. Blue before she went.
Oh, he's lying.
Then she may have dyed it again.
When did she leave?
Damn, I don't want to... Please just let it go. Whatever she did, it can't be that bad. She's not a bad person. I know that much.
We can't just let it go. It's part of a police investigation.
That's how it always is with you, isn't it? All part of the investigation. The girl's troubled. If you hunt her down, she may not survive it. I can't have that on my conscience.
It won't come to that. We won't pursue her on this. This is information only.
I don't believe you.
Believe us, it really is.
I just can't, man. I'm not naive.
How is she troubled?
She's got the darkness in her. That young person's darkness when you think it's all over. And you're looking for a way out.
She shared this with you?
Yes. Which is why I don't want to snitch on her.
It's not snitching, it's just a few questions.
It's snitching, man. I know what it is.
Just told everyone's afraid of her, you're not.
I heard the rumors. I saw the other drivers looking at me strange when we talked. And she told me, too, that she's had a violent life. But I wasn't afraid of her. More like for her.
Did this violent life include drug trafficking?
Well, it looks like it did now. But we didn't talk about that. We talked about life, you know? She talked about her mind.
Her mind?
The way it worked. The trouble it was giving her.
The pain it was causing her.
When she left, did she leave her lore behind?
Fuck, man. Go grill someone else with these questions, okay? There are plenty of drivers here who couldn't stand her, or were afraid of her. They'd be more than happy to rat her out.
He's right. There are other options. The raceman, for one. The grey-haired woman. Maybe she knows something. Wait, this guy says they're friends. Then, acquaintances. And he's okay with others ratting her out. Push Tommy and it will break his heart. And his spirit. Don't expect you to be pals. Now is not the time to focus on feelings. You need that info, son. It's right here. The answer is right here. You just need to ask him. Come on, do it.
So you're alright with others ratting her out? You just don't want to get your hands dirty?
Fine. I don't want to be a butcher. And I don't want to be a knight either. I just want to be a person who can sleep at night. A little fame wouldn't hurt, too.
Put yourself in my shoes. I need this for another investigation, too. It's important.
You're not going to put a bullet in your head if you blow it, are you? Because she's on the edge, man.
I wouldn't be so sure, Tommy. Imagine it. An explosion of stars. Goodbye world of men, money, and machines.
God, those two are teaming up to try to kill me. I'll drop it.
Thank you, friend. Wow, this makes me feel like I should pick up smoking again. Would help with my rhymes, too.
That's all for now. Bye. Hey, Raceman. I got some words for you. Like, fuck you.
Looking for something, Hunt? Come to tell me to fuck off again?
Where's the lady driver?
I don't know what you're talking about.
First you knew Sealing didn't do it.
He did something. He stole his employer's goods and another lorryman's job. You should be thankful for the tip.
He's been expecting this. He's really puffed himself up.
Why are you smirking?
Listen up, fuckwits. You don't scare me. You cops don't run Revachol West. You don't run Martinez. You don't run anything.
Actually, we do.
No. He means La Puta Madre.
A legendary, and not in a good way, crime boss from Jamrock. Controls what is probably the most powerful organized crime outfit in Revachol West. Looks like the lieutenant has a plan. Let him do this.
Yeah, him.
Cross your arms and nod.
Then I presume you are familiar with his peonies.
Yeah, they're his little bitches. He's got them all over the unions.
Not just the unions. He has peonies everywhere. Some say he even has them in the RCM. Dirty fucking peonies who'd do anything for him. Multi-ethnic drug addicts.
The lieutenant adopts a rodentine quality. Be cool, sire. He's getting into this.
Say nothing.
You're not peonies. You wouldn't be investigating a drug thing if you were.
No, of course not. We are not peonies. But if we were, and one of Madre's drivers were to be stealing from him, then it's a good peony's job to find out who that is.
He's surprisingly good at this. Not bad at all. Look at him lurching.
It's not a hard job. It won't take a long time. It won't make Padre Madre angry. But a stupid fucking racist is standing in the way, protecting this fucking thief.
I'm not scared of you or the mob. I'm under the protection of the Lorrymen and Carters Guild.
You've seen that corpse in the ceramic armor there. Did his shitty little guild protect him?
Nah, you wouldn't just leave him out there if you...
The lieutenant turns and gives you a barely perceptible nod. I softened him up as best I could. Now it's on you to finish the job. Be careful. This man's still got some fight in him, by the looks of it. It won't be easy to break him.
Make him tell, go fuck yourself.
Men like this
Yes!
only respect two things: strength and fear. Time to turn up the volume.
Show me her lorry right fucking now. Where is it? Yeah, grab him!
I told you, I'm not gonna...
There. His voice grows smaller as yours.
I've been to your fucking lorry. I know where it is. I'm gonna burn it down. You hear me?
Look, fuck you, man. It's some lorry down there. Green, banged up thing. I don't fucking know who she is.
When did she go away?
I don't know. I don't even know her name. She just rolls with the fleet and acts like a big shot. Some dyke, probably. I haven't even seen her for days.
Now it's not a big deal for him anymore. This is how he saves face.
Where exactly is her lorry?
Past the monument. Down there. The Green Temple. Now, leave me the fuck alone, okay?
A small temple by the monument. Green. Let's get into that lorry.
Looks like he got his adrenaline up, too.
Right, I'm gonna leave now. Asshole. Fuck him up!
The tear machine stands in the... Your bottles clunk.
Wow, I got 30 real from that. No. No! I got 30 cents!
A Stars Ryko, one of the finest Zhimsk-made motor carriages ever. An oldie, but a goldie.
Who drives these?
Not many people outside of Grad, and Revachol West too, it appears. Bulky frame, heavy, hardy, looks like a tractor.
Is that a tractor?
Yes, built like a tractor, and used like one too in the Zemsk countryside. Take note of the 8-antler emblem, the symbol of the Stars Ryko, proudly born to honor its humble roots.
Hey Kim, check this out.
A Stash Ryko KK2. That's a classic model. Never thought I'd see another one repainted after what happened last time.
Maybe I can impress him.
No, only that the motor carriage is typically baby blue, the colors of Sigismund the Great, an ancient Zemsk ruler. His banners were famously zephyr and white, the colors of the Stars Ryko.
That's, well, yes, exactly it, more or less. Except it was a crowd of them. Tore him out of the vehicle and ran him over with his own tires.
That's fucked up.
They said it was an honor killing, Hussar style. The James community protested the trial, flying the colors. 5,000 came to protest.
Correction, 4,395. The fourth largest public protest of
I'm not
a
gonna do
criminal
that.
trial
That'd be
in
rude.
Revachol.
We're the Zemsk community.
People we are paid to protect. Let's leave it at that.
What they sentenced the killers to?
4 years for murder in Reunion. The perps were remorseful. Their sorry knocked 8 years off the sentence. That's the system.
The prisons in the greater Revachol Industrial Harbor are already full. Prisoners are expensive to maintain. The longer the sentence, the larger the cost.
Could our hangman been the driver of this?
Could it be another Stash Ryko murder? You really should ask me to brief you on the case. But right now, I'm just gonna go ahead and guess the two aren't related.
I have an opinion.
Yes, detective?
I I think they should have left it baby blue.
You sure you're not James?
Yes, you're sure you're not. Or if you are, it's only in that Revacholian way. 4 to 5% maximum.
Woo! There it is.
This screen found, A to Z, Contemporain, is parked in the shadow of the ruins looming overhead. It's seen better days.
This must be the one he told us about. Unless he was lying.
Try to peek in the window.
The glass on the side windows is tinted and covered with dust. You can barely make out the shape of a seat and 2 steering levers. Posters cover the small windows in the back. You can't make out what's on them. It feels like you're peeking into someone's home residence. Inside it's private, cozy, warm, dusty too.
Try the handle.
The door is locked. The handle looks shiny, like it's recently replaced. There's no pick in this lock. The owner has put special care into it. It's a recessed design.
We're gonna open this.
Use the pry bar to smash the window. Open it from the inside.
It's a good idea.
I don't know how good it is, but this investigation has taken long enough. We can't afford it to take any longer.
This screen found, A to Z,
Lifted
Contemporain,
weights.
is parked in the shadow of the ruins, looming. With a firm
Woo!
grip, you raise the pry bar. A glint of light
I
catches.
barely got it.
Call down the hammer of truth and justice. Release your secrets, lorry cabin. The window shatters, and droplets of glass fly everywhere, shattering over the lorry floor and pavement.
Sato.
Like a common car thief, and he
The
opens
smell
it.
of cigarettes and perfume welcomes you. The cabin inside is plastered with old movie posters. Actresses smile from the walls. There's a radio transmitter in the front and a toolbox tucked under the driver's seat. Some tools lie scattered near the pedals. There's something odd about the passenger seat. The seating fabric has been pulled tight over the lower side of the seat where the toolbox should be.
My other posters.
These are movie posters featuring starlets from long-forgotten films from the 20s, the teens, even the 90s of the last century. One of them particularly catches your eye. A centerfold of an ingenue attached right above the back seat. There's definitely perfume in the air. It's spicy, with a hint of amberette, wafting through the bitter air of the cabin.
What's that smell?
The remnants of a sweet juniper-scented perfume, probably Grenade number 5.
Say the centerfold.
The actress is draped in a sheathed dress, one of her shoulders bared. The faded remains of an autograph run across the poster.
Gay Ruby.
She's looking past the camera. A feeling of tenderness washes over you.
Gentle tragedy.
A longing even, perhaps. And gentle tragedy. Wait, doesn't she resemble someone you know?
Nope, we're not going down that road.
Put your finger on who.
It's a bad, dark road.
This is Tip Tijon, a starlet from the dawn of cinematography, less known for her talent than her tragic, untimely death. She wasted away in a drug den called Door to the River. Not far from here, on Boogie Street, a mixture of cocaine and morphine. She was afraid of the world, and the camera, too. The actresses and the rear actor all smile you a warm goodbye. A radio transmitter is attached to the dashboard, and a toolbox sits under the driver's seat.
Same with the radio.
Looks like the frequency dial is absent. It requires a key to work, but the key has been removed, likely by the missing lady driver.
Strange. There are so many radio stations saved here. Must be over 100 at least.
It has to be an advanced model to fit so many frequencies next to each other without blending them together.
What about Speed Freaks FM?
No, that's on 78.9.
I got you!
What? I happen to have committed the frequency to memory. I have no problem admitting that.
Why do I need so many radio stations?
For contacting an entire fleet of lorrymen, for example. This is all shortwave, UW and UKV. Looks like we are dealing with an impressive organizational tool. The nerve center of a huge operation. With quite a range, too.
A 20-kilometer radius at least. Perhaps extended by an attachable antenna that's not here right now.
What can we do with the radio?
Doesn't look like it. It's completely inoperable without a dial key.
What else is
The
here?
ghostly actresses, and the rusty toolbox under the driver's seat, and the oddly bulging seat cover.
Closed door.
Close the rusty old lorry door.
We definitely need to return sometime later. We didn't get enough.
Hold up.
Apricot chewing gum scented one. August 2nd, early late summer. You're getting off the streetcar in Le Jardin, east of the river. Her father and mother are middle class. The nylon of her little jacket rustles next to you, in the dark, like autumn leaves. Her heels click on the pavement. You're walking up to the gate in front of her parents' house. She takes out her chewing gum and you kiss her. A feeling like electricity flows through your whole body. Immediately, you know that you've entered a completely different world.
+2 perception. Betrayal lingers everywhere. It's those little private betrayals that just slam right into you. Those little quiet tragedies, I should be more specific.
This found the smell of cigarette. There's something odd about the passenger
Check out.
seat. The seating fabric
Pull out
has
the
been
tool,
put
pull
in a
out.
drawer, slides out from the seat. It's empty, except for a folded newspaper.
Unfold.
It's an issue of Périphérique from last Wednesday.
Game shoots me. Ah!
It falls out from its pages.
Pick up the
It
note.
looks like an article ripped out from a radio enthusiast magazine. Complex mathematical equations explain the basics of something called the Ulan frequency system. These formulas look oddly painful. Maybe it's the hangover, but they give you a headache.
The Ulan frequency system? I've never heard of that before. I know of FM, AM, UKV, but...
The pull-out toolbox slides back into
God,
its
the
nest.
fucking...
The rest is as it was. Posters, a radio,
The
dust
foreshadowing.
on the windows.
Check out the pedals.
You wedge yourself under the steering wheel to get a better look. Seems like the few tools lying around here, a hammer, a pair of pliers, a rusty wrench, have been casually thrown there by the disorganized driver. But one odd detail does catch your eye. A piece of sandpaper has been glued to the throttle. Sandpaper adds extra grip.
Looks like the driver has glued some sandpaper to the throttle. Extra
Sandpaper? A novel technique?
The sandpaper would also rub off the pattern from the driver's right sole boot.
Yes?
Do the honors, he thinks.
One of the
Connect it
footprints at the
yourself.
crime scene had an aberration. One sole was smoother than the other.
Which means that the missing lady driver was present at the lynching.
She was also running the drug trade. What a handful.
We've identified one of the footprints, but there are still 7 to go.
The movie stars are still smiling from the walls. But there's something strange about the passenger seat.
Pop it.
Voila. A
Voila.
stack of neatly folded papers has been stashed behind the seating fabric. You see 3 maps depicting a large metropolitan area. It's Revachol. Some of its routes and highways have been outlined with a pen.
Bonne prise.
Bonne prise. Fold open the topmost one.
This large map
The
displays
881.
the elevated motorway called 881.
Yep.
The intake leading to Martinez is marked with a blue X. There's another X on the off-ramp at a place called the Old South.
The Old South.
Toll booths at the intakes are marked with a circle. It looks like there are scant few ways of getting onto the elevated motorway that runs over Jamrock. And this person knows them all.
All of them.
There, hundreds of thousands of motor carriages roar on the 881. High above the massive brown and red roofs, that is Jamrock. The commuters don't even look down. The world ceases to exist outside the windshield.
Where's the road lead?
To Kuron.
Kuron.
Through the middle-income neighborhoods there.
I like you got that one right.
And then to Stella Maris and La Delta for work, while the men and women of Jamrock scuttle to their fates below the road.
Hold open the map.
This municipal map from the 30s displays a complex system of storm sewers underneath a sub-district called the Pox, old military hospital, right adjacent to the 41st precinct. No storm will ever drown Revachol, the great solution to the riddle of history. Wind rips through the empty hallways of the once great military hospital, now just a ruin under an overgrown park. Beneath the hospital, great sewer tunnels hum and vibrate with life of their own.
What is that sound?
The rattle of motor carriages and lorries driving through long-forgotten tunnels, lit by gaslights.
To the third map.
The final map displays a labyrinth of service tunnels left over from the construction of Motorway 881. A few routes have been marked with a pen, where the tunnels and sewers surface near the eminent domain and a traffic island in central Jamrock by the lake. These service tunnels were probably used during the construction of the foundation beneath the motorway. Despite the cold, figures move about cloaked in shadow, their breath escaping in white clouds that fade into the darkness. Wherever you look, the night gives cover to her messengers.
Where are they going?
They travel from eminent domain to perdition and onto the main, over the River Esperance, on Route 881 to the Old South. The exit ramp is supposed to be shut down, but there's much activity. The road spreads like the tentacles of a great octopus. Looks like the smugglers have infiltrated the road network belonging to East Motor Track.
Smugglers have infiltrated the motor track.
So it would seem. The RCM patrols most of these auxiliary roads, though apparently not all of them.
Where's the contraband end up?
Hard to say. This distribution network looks certainly large, yet still vague enough. It doesn't reveal much about the Besmerti behind it.
Besmerti? That sounds familiar.
The Besmerti is a Revacholian crime syndicate. They see themselves as the inheritors of the 14 Revacholian Indo-tribes, but really they're just violent gangs vying for control on the west side of Revachol. With cool names like La Puta Madre and Ahura Mazda, it's a dark parody.
Padre Madre? Who do you think's behind this?
It's definitely not the Union. They just do some logistics. This operation has spread everywhere in Jamrock. If it's that widespread, then Madre remains the most likely suspect. Here's bad news. There have been attempts at a serious investigation before, but they haven't ended well for those involved.
Lieutenant Kitsuragi is a brave man for saying Madre's name without the winces and whispers that usually accompany it. Especially bad news for cops who may have something in their past they don't even know. It's somewhere on a hidden field, a flash of light, a whirring sound. Camera lenses focus on a man in a ragged police uniform, standing in a field of blood-red poppies. A blurry figure dressed in white stands right by the camera. The bedraggled cop is holding a manure fork. "Don't hurt me," he whimpers. "But why? Why would I hurt my own peon?" asks the man in white. What kind of an animal would do such a thing?
Best not to disturb the scene. I'll have forensics go over the lorry and pick this up later.
The stack of maps looks just like before, barely noticeable. The movie stars look silently by, and the pull-out toolbox has a rubber handle, worn from years of use. You close the rusty old lorry door.
Great. I think we got everything. A word, detective? Before we return to Joyce?
What's up, my dude?
Alright, we've finished here. Let's quickly debrief and go over what we found, so we don't do it in front of the company rep.
Seems like something the police would do. What do you think of all this, Kim?
Honestly, I'm quite worried by what we've seen so far. The evidence seems to point to a rather extensive and well-organized operation.
I just realized there's fucking skua at the base of that statue.
I'm especially intrigued by that radio transmitter, particularly the sheer number of stations it can connect. Looks like this alleged drug trade casts a wide net.
This means it's well funded. Technology like that, a major player must be financing it.
God.
I'm not sure
Majestic
what the
creatures
frequencies are all about, but they may hold some significance. Perhaps it's a better way to connect between fleets while avoiding frequency bleed, or maybe it's used to tap into RCM networks.
Listening in on your calls between you and your station, a worrying prospect.
Oh, and the maps we found. They reveal the geographical extent of the operation. Looks like they've used abandoned tunnels and access roads to stay hidden. This is useful info.
What are the movie posters?
As elegant as they are, I don't think they are relevant to the drug trade.
Don't be fooled. Desire always plays a role.
There's a lot of women there, especially for a lady driver.
Yes, well...
Unimportant.
I don't think it's unimportant. I think this is connected to the Union.
We didn't find anything conclusive linking them to the smuggling operation. But somehow, I doubt that Evrard Claire would be oblivious to something like this happening right
Ruby
on
is
the
fucking gay.
My suggestion is, we use it against the Union in any way we can, to our own ends. It's a slippery eel, but we just might be able to pin them down.
It's the eel's hips, baby!
In short, this is a future angle. Possibly a good one.
Will the RCM open an investigation into this?
We should return to the murder case. See what Joyce tells us about the lynching. When we are done
Wink,
for
wink.
the day, I'll call my station and suggest our narcotics department look into it. There are more than enough grounds to start an official investigation, sometime later when we're done here. We do not want to get caught in that.
What are you thinking?
The fact that one hasn't started already gives me pause. An investigation, I mean. Especially if the Madre grouping is involved, and I can't imagine they aren't. It's certainly worrisome.
Corruption?
All the same, I don't like the idea of internal affairs descending on the matter. That won't help anyone either.
I'm just thinking, like, Harry's probably, like, the best person.
Debrief over. After you.
To lead an investigation into this, due to the fact that he is, so unstable that they could not fucking really use him as, like, as just some dude. Oh, hey, what's up, Tommy?
I, saw you poking around in Lady Driver's lorry. Is she in trouble?
We searched it.
Still better than me, I guess. Told you there's plenty of others who tell on her. But, is she in trouble?
No trouble. She's gonna be fine.
Oh man, that's like a load off my mind. All that stress was messing up my rhymes.
Remix.
He chooses to believe what's best for her.
What's the plan with those rhymes anyway?
Oh, you know. Tommy Laham's gonna be a musician. Sprechgesang, but with beats. I've got a lot of free time on the road to hone my craft.
The correct grammar is Tommy Lahom.
Lahom. Why Tommy Lahom?
Tommy Lahm was taken.
She was not going to be fine.
My real name's Jerry Lafitte. Tommy's way better.
It's more him.
Good luck with that, Tommy.
Yeah, you too. Be safe, detective.
She was not going to be okay. I lied. I lied as naturally as breathing. Fuck you. You lied to me how many times? How many times? Etched into the wood, the barely visible, remember the blank blank blank. Oh my, she's looking at saucy romance novels! Sea breeze carries more than salt. Meat, not rotten, not fresh. Grill! Ooh, I do love some grilled meats.
Just an ordinary war. Nothing to see here.
Finally! Let's go.
Because you see it. Finally. This wall is sublime. Look at it. The shadows. The colors.
Let conceptual joy flow into your pupils and bloom into thoughts in your brain.
All the other walls on all the other houses must make a pilgrimage in adoration of this, the uncontested pinnacle of wallcraft, color peeled from the very face of God.
More!
Oh, Wallfather.
Oh, Wallfather. Kim, I must paint this wall. Add even more beauty to it.
Huh? He sounds tired of it all. Cindy the Skull has all the necessary materials.
First, alright, Kim, I know you're tired, but take another look at this wall. Draw nourishment from its beauty.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
I must talk to Cindy. Get the necessary materials from her.
If you must.
Leave. Sprint! Sprint as if your life depends on it! We must engage in art! We must stop the world from being so shit. With the power of art. It speaks to me. I've thought about doing art. I've thought about arting. There's been times where I've had images in my brain that I could only truly depict through the craftsmanship of visual imagery.
Officers. Have you come to admire my mural?
Is that been in the coal room yours?
Ooh. Not only have you found my address, you've discovered my biggest secret. I'm a coal miner.
Oh my god, she mines coal.
She does have eyes that seem to be smeared with coal.
Really? You're a miner?
Yes. I keep hoping a shaft will collapse on me. But somehow, it never happens.
Does she have a real home?
Does anyone in a city like this?
If there's pain about any particular home she's lost, she's buried it deep, fortified herself against it.
It's not the nicest place, but I guess I'll have to do.
It doesn't have to do anything at all. Nothing does. Like me. Right now, I'm doing nothing at all.
Nothing at all?
The inspiration will come to her once hell is set loose on the streets. It's too calm right now.
Cool. I have other questions.
Shoot, Piggy.
Cindy,
it's what you do, isn't
I
it?
need paint!
What for?
It's for art, okay?
Well, if it's for art, but what kind of art are we talking about?
Everything is sad and shit, and we need art to make it okay. Just give me a brush.
Sounds like you're just about to live out your self-pity, not make a statement. I can't have shit art on my conscience.
You'll see. You will all see and tremble.
Yeah, not gonna hold my breath,
God.
Piggy. You
Okay.
look like you'd suck. Everything really.
Attempt to explain my artistic intentions.
You don't have
Oh
the
my
skills
God.
to execute something like this in practice. But, oh boy, the idea's going to blow her fucking mind.
I'm going to create a highly detailed skeleton of an ancient bird that went extinct 100 million years ago.
She squints her eyes.
And I'm going to paint it red using heavy fuel oil, and it's going to fucking light on fire.
On fire.
It's a phoenix, get it? What do you say?
I say, sod off. You don't have the technical skills to do that.
I'm sorry, was the image offensive? Did you survive an avian attack as a child?
Didn't we all?
I don't understand that
I
answer.
like your idea. Should have thought of it myself. I don't need this kind of competition in my neighborhood.
Damn it, it was too strong. But Cindy, art is bigger than either of us!
Then get your brush from fucking art.
Oops, my apologies. I guess conceptualization... I guess I was trying too hard.
You're a police officer, and a grown-up. Why are you trying to impress her? Maybe try a different approach.
Sorry for invading your personal space like this, but I'm gonna take that paintbrush from you, kiddo.
And I need an aircraft carrier. So what?
How come you're letting this baby rat run circles around you? End this now.
Cindy, I'm gonna stand here until you hand over that paintbrush.
Have you got any kids? Because you sound like the world's saddest dad right now. But fine. Brush. I'm all out of fuel oil anyway.
You know what you should be able to find in your government-issued vehicle? Red-dyed heavy fuel oil.
Right on. No way I'm settling for paint that if even children are painting with fuel oil.
That beautiful wall deserves nothing less.
Hey Kim, do you think you could lend me some of your fuel oil? Kim, my friend, would you be willing to sacrifice some of your fuel oil for art?
My fuel oil is for my kinema. Use your own fuel if you are unable to control your artistic impulses. But
Damn!
Leave my kinema out of it.
Catch you later, Cindy. Cindy, I'm gonna stand here until you give me that paintbrush. Fine! Harry, you're a beautiful man. God, you're fucking such a weirdo, though. Alright, just a little bit more. And we're gonna end with right before we talk to the Hardy Boys. After we talk to Joyce!
You're back. Good. What can I help you with?
I spoke with Everett.
You have? And how did you like Mr. Clare?
Finally. Time to choose sides.
I can do business for him. He's not the... nope. I was just doing... you know what? He's a hero of the workers' union. He's the champion I've sworn fealty to. I'm just doing my job.
Of course, Detective. Excuse me for implying otherwise.
The RCM does not pick sides in this. I hope it doesn't come off any other way.
Of course. And I don't expect you to share anything he told you with me. I'm not a corrupt verm myself.
Show me the verm.
However, if you felt like discussing something, how could I stop you? Are we not human? Are we not curious to hear another person's take? It's only natural. We would only be gossiping.
Oh, gossiping. Yes, of course.
Don't fall for it. It's a ploy to get you talking. The honey-mouthed syllables, the smiling, the conspiratorial
Legendary.
jokes, all of it. Intellectually speaking, it would be quite interesting to hear what she has to say about these
Oh,
things.
you tempt me, conceptualization.
Tell her she'll like you for it.
He asked me to open a door.
A referral, you mean? I take it this was for someone in the RCM. Don't answer that.
My liege, this woman has half convinced herself already. All it would take is a little nudge.
Yes, a referral.
Such referrals may sometimes get you information from a man like Everett. Did it?
Detective, I advise you to be very selective with what information you choose to share. This may have consequences beyond our line of sight.
Everett asked... Let's see... He said Wildpine sent mercenaries after the Union, and now one's dead.
The company did not send mercenaries after the Union. I told you in great detail about the mistakes my side made. And of course, I accept them completely. I just hope you don't share Everart's view on things. After all, as he said, one's dead now. The Pine certainly hasn't killed any of theirs.
Let's keep it that way. She means to add, but then doesn't. Look who's defensive suddenly.
Let's see. Everett asked the Union's militia wing to fully cooperate with the investigation.
How benevolent. Hopefully they'll help you sort this whole business out, if they haven't already.
We cannot discuss the specifics of an ongoing investigation, ma'am. Besides, you haven't exactly been forthcoming yourself.
Facts.
That is only fair.
I've said all I can.
Well, I hope it yields something.
He didn't
Otherwise, you'll
seem
have opened
all
that
that
door for more.
worried about the whole conflict that's
Anything
developing.
else? I wouldn't have taken Everett for a saber rattler. Was he surrounded by Union men he wanted to impress?
No, it was more like he wanted things to get worse.
I think he wants
secret,
things to
of
escalate.
course.
Or he wants you and me to believe he wants to go to war.
Of course, brinkmanship takes showmanship. We should have seen it before, in his office. He might well have been performing for us.
There's always that risk, man. But if I may offer my opinion, he means it.
He was right. I'm pretty sure he meant it.
I'll think it over, Detective. Thank you for relaying this information to me.
She tries to hide it, but some great doubt is spreading within her. There is a crown slowly cracking above her head.
Ah, cute. Is this great doubt you're talking about?
I can't say. Only that she's hiding the magnitude of it from you.
Ma'am, is everything alright?
What? Yes, of course. Everything's fine. Perhaps there's more gossip you'd like to share.
That's all I've got to say.
What you've said is quite enough. You've given me a lot to consider, and may have helped me prevent this conflict from escalating.
Hear that, hero? Feels good, doesn't it? You should relay confidential information more often.
He asked me to deliver an envelope.
Sounds like he has you running errands, Detective. A well-established dominance ritual. Where did he have you deliver it?
To a nameless settlement down the coast.
Ah, yes. I've been meaning to go there.
With longing. Clear and simple longing. Strange. Why does she want to go there?
Quite fond of this village, aren't you?
I should be. In my youth, I had a brief dalliance here in Martinez. He was an older man with impossibly broad shoulders.
Impossibly broad?
He's probably dead by now. Even his shack is long gone. Not that it matters. These buildings are all carbon copies of one another.
You've been to Martinez before?
Yes. I was slumming it with some girlfriends of mine. We had boats and... Don't hold it against me. My paramour certainly did not.
Paramour. Sounds like you missed those
Not
times.
overly so. It's not like this was the only place we visited. Me and my girlfriends from Azon with our shiny boats, like reavers. We told ourselves we were the worst thing to happen to the coast since the Coalition landed in 08.
Confidence.
Imagine.
She's sentimental, all right. You don't know enough about her to find out why exactly. She will keep her secrets for now.
Let's build a youth center there.
A youth centre with Edgar Clare's statue on top of it. Go ahead. Help him. Make it so. I have no power to stop him. Yes. I'm sad I'll never have the time, Detective. I've always wanted a dilapidating fishing village.
She is more defensive about it than usual.
Full of ghosts and ancient memories. Has this errand yielded you any information?
I'd rather talk about something else for now.
Of course, Detective. Should something come up later down the road, don't be afraid to drop by for a chat. Until then, is there anything I can help you with?
Spoke with the lawyer at the roundabout.
Yes, my eyes on the harbour have sent word to that effect. What have you discovered?
Where are these eyes located?
It doesn't really matter. And I do apologize for the surveillance. Wild Pines can't afford to be blind at a time like this.
One of the tall buildings overlooking the roundabout, most likely. That would give them a read on the entire quarter.
In any case, it's a relief to know someone has looked into it. If I may ask, will there be an official investigation? I assume you discovered there is an operation.
She's trying to conceal her excitement, but the slight glimmer in her green eyes tells you otherwise. The lieutenant is about to interject. Cut him off. This decision should be yours.
I trust Lieutenant.
If there is an investigation, it will be part of an ongoing operation, subject to confidentiality. I am sure you understand.
Of course, detectives. In any case, you've held up your end of our arrangement. I trust you with the rest. Now it's my turn. I wouldn't normally break protocol like this, but the situation demands it. If you don't solve this murder, I'm afraid we may have a bloodbath on our hands.
The words bloodbath sound cold in her mouth. They taste of iron and strawberries.
What about this bloodbath?
Yes. I'm afraid this strike may descend into a small-scale civil war,
Small.
with possible consequences for all of Rivershoal West.
Since you are sharing, man, this is also the RCM's worst-case scenario.
Then we're on the same page, as grim as it may be.
What's this connection?
I have an indirect role to play, I'm sad to say. My employer experienced a momentary lapse of faith in me. In that moment, they elected to deploy a private military contractor as an insurance measure. They called it my security detail.
Do you need a security detail?
Absolutely not. These mercenaries are muscle, pure and simple. They are meant to intimidate the Union into surrendering.
Who are they, exactly?
Crenel, an Oranese military company. As far as I know, 3 arrived in Martinez. They report to me sporadically, but they do not answer to me. To be frank, they wear ceramic armor, have semi-automatic weapons, and years of combat experience. They also have trauma and stressor disorder, and no idea how to conduct themselves in an urban civilian environment.
So, what happened?
The story is, one of them, the Colonel, I don't know his real name, sexually assaulted a local woman while he was drunk and separated from his unit. This allowed some of the more militant Union members to subdue him.
Not even true.
He was taken out behind the whirling in rags and lynched last Sunday night.
What then?
Nothing. Mr. Clare refuses to let me into the harbour. I have not been able to discuss this matter with anyone there. The remaining 2 Crenel contractors carry out their orders, for now. It's a smokescreen. In secret, they are conducting an independent military tribunal into the lynching. Once this investigation is concluded, executions will follow.
What is the nature of this so-called investigation?
Whether to execute one, some, or all of the Union militants.
It'll be all of them. The decision is already made. Investigation upon investigation here in Martinez, racing towards some dark deadline.
I gotta say, this is not disco. Too many investigations in Martinez.
My only hope is that yours provides a single, concrete suspect before they indiscriminately pick theirs. Simply put, if you don't pin this on someone good and do it fast, they will identify and execute everyone present at the lynching. This in turn will force the Union to respond.
They would have to project strength and power.
The Débardeurs have over 2,000 men. It will be 1,000 to 1.
Have you ever seen a hornet invade a beehive, Lieutenant? It's not pretty.
The Serai's giant hornet, the world's 2nd largest insect, can kill 40 honeybees a minute, while a group of 30 can decimate an entire hive of 20,000 bees in less than 4 hours.
These men work in tandem using semi- and fully automatic firearms. Their armor is virtually impenetrable to muzzle-loaded weapons, even yours. Most Union workers don't have guns at all.
The muzzle loaders need to be reloaded after every 1 or 2 shots. The automatics every 1 or 2 minutes.
As I said, a bloodbath.
I think confrontation is inevitable.
It doesn't have to be like this. Nameless, badgeless officer of the citizens' militia. One single concrete suspect delivered into civil court, a good one, and I may be able to defuse this situation.
Tell me about the Colonel.
Not much. Their public resume is relatively good, as far as private military contractors go. I believe they were once called Downwell.
Down a deep, black well.
They boast a long list of clients. Saint-Baptiste, Welchman-Lorenz, Eintracht. A warning sign, however. The operations concerned all take place in 3rd or 4th world countries. Guarding facilities, escort missions and such.
Meaning they're used to operating in war zones.
Yes. All the good conflict corridors. Supramundi, Yesut, the Seminese Islands. Countries that don't have a good record reporting atrocious military conduct on their soil.
Anything else you got on?
Sadly, no. Before this happened, I had little interest in them. Now that I do, I don't have the resources. If you still have access to the ICP's database, you could run a better background check than I ever could. It may take some time, though.
The International Collaboration Police, ICP, is charged with coordinating law enforcement activities in complex multinational investigations. Their database is the single largest source of information in the world.
Do you know a lot about the inner workings of the RCM and the ICP, man?
In my line of work, it pays to do your research. I was prepared to deal with the RCM. I did not think I'd be dealing with a group like Crenell.
Could you contact the company? Tell them to call them off?
I have. And they will. However, these orders take time to reach what is basically a rogue unit out in the field here. Until they do, it's all on us.
She's being truthful. She is pressing them as hard as she can.
You said the deceased assaulted a woman?
Or he didn't. This is information passed on to me from some teenagers loitering around the canal.
What did they say?
I cannot testify by it. That the man was killed because he assaulted a local woman. I've asked around a bit. This seems to be the accepted story around Martinez.
The lieutenant consults his notebook, his eyebrows knitted in concentration.
Odd. We haven't heard any reports about an assault in connection with the lynching. Where did it take place? And when?
Last Sunday night, at the Whirling in Rags, the hostel by the gates. Supposedly, the colonel was drunk, maybe on narcotics too. Either way, he's alleged to have sexually assaulted a woman. Sometime later, a group of dock workers got their hands on him.
Who's this woman?
That's a good question, officer. I don't have the slightest idea. As I said, it's a rumor about a rumor. In any case, it's what the colonel's remaining colleagues believe.
You'll meet her soon enough, you feel.
Is Colonel the one who's hanged? Did you know him?
If you mean did I see him alive? Yes. But I did not know him.
You don't know how you know. It's not written on her face, nor in her voice. But she had sympathy for this man.
His name was... You liked him.
Liked is a bit strong. He was the most charismatic among them. He handled all the talking. His departure left a major gap in the group's communication skills.
His name was?
Lely.
Lely.
His service name. A nom de guerre, most likely. He wouldn't divulge his full name. Only one of them did. A bad sign if there ever was one.
Tell me about the others first.
One is a man. Corty, they call him. A nickname as well. The other a woman. Phyllis DePaul. Corty is the gunner, I believe. DePaul is a radio operator.
What would you say was his eye color, the deceased's?
She closes her eyes, trying to picture the man's face, then shakes her head.
I can't remember.
Oh.
The lieutenant was testing her, asking a small detail first to see if she knew him better than she let on. She passed.
That's all right, man. Anything else? Nationality? What would you say was his age?
He was 40. Or 50. It's hard to say which. He had a combat injury on his lower jaw. It made it difficult to estimate his age, or gauge his facial expressions.
Indeed. This matches the dental reconstruction we saw on the body. What else? Nationality? Accent?
He was, Occidental, I think. Light brown hair, a mixed accent, Oranese, or Messinian, maybe. His injury gave him an accent all his own. In a way, it was humanizing. He had to learn to speak through it, through the injury. That's all I know, I guess. I only met him once.
Must be hard to force your face to move in a new fashion. If you continue like this, you'll have an aneurysm. Then you'll have to.
Where are the remaining two mercs?
They've gone to ground, as it were. I don't recommend seeking them out. For one, they're almost certainly armed to the teeth. They don't have the same respect for the Revachol citizens' militia as I do. To put it bluntly, they think you're vigilantes. Ghetto savages. It will not be a fruitful meeting.
Vigilantes. You're a professional officer of the only legitimate authority in Revachol.
Somehow, I doubt that lecturing them on the legitimate use of force will persuade them to stand down.
Still need to work whether...
You're likely to run into them eventually. When that happens, I'll be in a better position to mediate if I don't appear involved.
Where are these mercenaries?
One must be at the harbor gates, causing trouble. Directing strike breakers, perhaps. You can hear the sounds of the ruckus coming from there all the time. The other has a vantage point in a building south of the roundabout. They were keeping tabs on you while you were canvassing the lorry drivers.
That may be so. I still hope you heed my advice. There's no need to kick the hornet's nest.
For all your talk of averting this catastrophe, the situation at the gate is a powder keg. Does this not bother you?
Of course it bothers me, Lieutenant. But my hands are tied. How would my employer react if it appeared I were intervening on behalf of the Union?
Your concern may be appearances. Ours is keeping the peace.
That would afford a good vantage point. In any case, it's practically inaccessible.
Where is your radio for contacting them, if I may ask? Do you have an earpiece?
Heavens no. I'm not an undercover agent. There's a shortwave at the ship's wheel. I hope I can answer it better.
How much time do we have?
Until the executions start. Truthfully, I don't know. It depends on their progress identifying the members of the lynch mob, and their impatience.
They don't report their progress to you?
Not on this matter. I'm afraid they consider this a personal initiative.
5 days, not more. Maybe sooner.
It's a matter of days, not weeks.
It's enough for now.
I am sorry to have been the bearer of bad news. If there is anything else I can help you with, please ask.
She reaches for the photo, takes it, then holds it in her hand. For about half a minute, in silence. She wears fingerless gloves. Her fingernails are cut short and fractured, like those of a working woman.
It was taken with a trigette not long ago. This is the man's upper body. There were no more markings on his hands or legs.
Her mouth is relaxed. The accordion lines near her mouth vanish. The pearls of her eyes move slowly on the photo's surface. She has no excess of emotions for this cadaver. Has she seen dead bodies before? It's likely.
What do you think of...
Sorry. I was trying to see if I can read the web of interdependencies between these points. The stars. I can't. But that's how you read this story. The points themselves don't have letters, numbers, anything. Their size, location on the body, and distance from each other tells you what they represent.
Stars in the sky?
Close. Port cities. This is an Oronese map of the waterways, a sailor's tattoo worn by wayfarers of the Dolorian century. Over 300 years ago, the sailors would mark their bodies to map their travels. The sailor's soul would use it to fly back home if they should die abroad. This is a sort of contraption to be reeled back in by. The silver cord, they would call it.
Where is he now?
I would say he's near the Arcade Islands by now, ready to exit the Insular Indian and into the Pale, if I've read his home address correctly. Quite a few. Vredefort, the Oronese capital, traditionally stands on the right shoulder. He started somewhere near here, I think.
What next?
Then he made his way to the Pretto Grande, through what I think must be the Stutz Canal, an artificial channel through the Occident. From the Pretto, he sailed to the Insulindic Ocean, first the Semnes Islands, then this. Revachol. Those are the two constants. Vredefort on the shoulder, and Revachol in the heart. They started the tradition of these maps right after the discovery of Insulinde, at the dawn of the Inter-Islary Age.
The old world passing by, and the new world already here.
You said you can't read it.
I can't. This man was no sailor, and these are no ports. I can understand geographic fragments, but not their meaning.
Somewhere in an office lit by a single green desk lamp, Captain Ptolemaeus Price, 58, bald and bespectacled, is writing in a ledger on his desk. Rows and rows of days and weeks, laconic remarks in a single column. Patrol, case, vacation, injured. In Martinez looking into Krenel, he writes in one. Then the man puts down his pen and rubs his temples with both hands. Outside, there is a siren. Distant gunshots on the streets of the Jamrock Quarter. Vredefort? Vredefort has a military academy. The Seminese Islands saw a recent conflict. In Revachol, he was executed.
This man is no brother of mine, but this is his service history.
That makes sense to me. We have no more use for a map of the waterways, just like we don't need sailors the way we used to. This is what the custom would morph into on the Occident. Mercenary tattoos.
For all the boys looking for adventure, a blood spatter on the seas.
Who could tell me more?
His platoon members? The other contractors. Though I do not suggest you go and show them that picture. This man was their friend and comrade.
It could go this or the other way. Maybe if you're tactful, it could be beneficial. Surely there are other people to ask about the tattoo. This is not necessary to complete the task, officer. It's a dangerous side task. Search elsewhere.
Do what you have to do, detective. I don't think deciphering that tattoo should come before public security. But if you should wade into the mob to find out, I couldn't stop you.
We will be careful, Pat.
Is there anything else I can help you with?
That's all, Joyce. Hear you chuckling. Ha ha! I'm in danger! Ho ho! Alright, we will... We will plant ourselves right here. Just kidding, I want to look at everything. Towing guns and Union placards. Hawthorn bushes outside. I wanna talk to this lady first.
Let me handle this.
And says to the crowd in the mess hall, but to return to you.
You seem a little different today. Less hospitable.
You are far from home, Lieutenant. This isn't a district known for its love of self-proclaimed militiamen.
Yeah, you're right, Lieutenant. She did seem friendlier sitting on the corner.
Not a muscle moves in her face, but her eyes trace yours, stern and perceptive.
You are looking for Titus Hardy, who you think has information on a murder the RCM is investigating. You want to interview him. That's Titus. Talk to him, but know this. I'll be keeping an eye on you. No strong arming, nothing official. The District of Martinez does not recognize your authority to make arrests.
May not recognize it, but I still have it, lady.
It doesn't matter if you recognize our authority. We will make an arrest if we have to.
She says nothing. Her glare speaks for her.
What's your role in all this?
Obviously, I'm a lawyer. a legal counselor for the Dock Workers Union. I would urge you to consider what you say to my clients.
What if I want to talk to you and not Titus?
What you want is of no significance, officer. Don't test your authority. In Martinez, you are no one.
Oh.
I saw what you were thinking. You want to say, what are you going to do to me? Don't. Just because it's in your head doesn't mean you have to say it.
Thanks, authority.
You will not lose out on anything good by not saying it.
Why are you so aggressive?
Aggressive? You make your living enforcing violence. These people are just dock workers.
Ma'am, the RCM is an entirely volunteer force. We're not enforcing violence, we're enforcing the law.
Just dock workers? Do dock workers spy on the police? We let you off easy, miss. Don't think it will happen again. We've talked to Everard Clare. We know who these men are. The Union's militant wing.
Listen, you moral intern lackeys. You're a mob, enforcing the unlawful privatization of Revachol. 20 fat men in the Occident are stealing it all, and you're their bodyguards.
Fuck yeah.
Whoa, Titus, your voice is way different now. Holy shit.
So ask what you came to ask, or get back to your commanders.
I like that. Good start. Let's take it a step further. Armed uprising. What are the Union's plans?
Look, a comedian. Do your job, ask your questions, then get out of Martinez.
Strange. It's as if people don't believe a cop could be a socialist revolutionary.
Weird how that goes. Strange. Alright, well, that's the stream for tonight, everybody. Thank you very much for watching. I had a super fun time streaming. And thank you, Eddie, for watching. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. And I'll talk to you all later.